cricket fiesta. The fiesta continues in the Broward County Cricket Stadium. We had a lot of drama last night with the Carolina Eagles of the final ball smashing a long six. Sion hasn't hit a six thus far till now, and then produces a beauty of the last ball, which unfortunately for Carmine LaRue was also a comfortable Yorker. Still had to be hit away. Carolina Eagles, after a roller coaster of a game, were able to put the much needed 2 points on the board. It's called the USPL phenomena. We have super overs so many times. And today it's going to be a triple header. Strap onto your seatbelts because this is going to be absolutely mind-boggling cricket coming your way. Phillies United versus New York Cowboys. If that intensity is not enough for you, then Maryland Mavericks would be taking on the California Golden Eagles. And the Carolina Eagles would want to soar past the NJ Titans. That's a 6 p.m. game. Broward County Cricket Stadium, Florida would be playing host. Beautiful clear skies, and we've been yearning to say that. Beautiful clear skies here at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Maryland Mavericks at the points table after 4 games have won a crucial one, and with 5 points are up top. Carolina Eagles would want to catch up as they mirror somewhat similar figures. Phillies United number 3, and they're up against New York Cowboys, who right now are number 7. That's because the only game they've played so far is a 5-over contest against the NJ Titans, which they were unable to go past. Let's go down to Andrew Leonard, who's there with the 2 skippers, and find out what happens at the flip of the coin battle.
So time for the toss here in the morning of game day 5. It's a clash between 2 northeastern sides. I've got the captains alongside me of Phillies United, Rakeem Cornwall, and New York Cowboys, represented by Jalad Dua, overseen by the match referee Danny Khan. Rakeem, I think you've got the coin. Give it a toss. Heads is the call. Ooh, it goes off on a bit of a journey for us. It is a tail. Rakeem, you won the toss. What are you going to do, mate, and why?
We're going to bowl first. I think a bit of maestros around in the early game, so we just get a better part of the pitch, bat on second.
It's been a little bit frustrating, hasn't it, for a couple of days, but weather looks set fair. These 3 days are now going to decide the semi-final spots.
Yeah, we just have to come and do the things consistently and do them for a long period. Once we do that, then I think the result will take care of itself.
Finally, any team news for me today? Do you have any changes from your last game?
Yeah, one change. Stefan comes in for Chinton.
Okay, mate. Best of luck. Nice to see you. That's Rakeem Cornwall. In you come. What would you have done first? Are you happy with that result?
Oh, so basically I would have bowled. And yeah, but it's fine. But yeah, it's a new wicket because it was under covers. So yeah, we are good with it.
Okay, being asked to bat first, what will you look to post first?
Around 170, it'll be a good score. And we have a good bowling, so yeah, we can defend it.
Okay, finally, same question. Any changes to your team today?
Yes, Barnwell's not available and Kulwinder comes in.
Okay, best of luck as well, Jawad. Okay, that's going to wrap it up from down at the toss. That trend, it continues from here. Rakeem Cornwall, Phillies United, they've won the toss. They're going to bowl first.
Rakeem Cornwall wanting to bowl first. The captain of Phillies United, he's made a change as well. Dominic Ricky, Adil Bhatti, Stephen Wigg, the young pacer, Kwame Pattinson Jr. Oh, there's a lot of variety as well at this side for Phillies United. Rakshit Gomel would be itchy to get runs with the bat too. Sunny Patel, Saad Ali is going to be sensational up top once again. Justin Dill, Calvin Savage, a lot of Chicago representation, and Rizwan Mazhar is in the side today. New York Cowboys, captain by Jalad Dua, have made a change today. Kulwinder Singh Kinda is available, so more left-arm pace coming towards you. Tajinder Dhillon, Gaurav Grover, Jehan Sananayaka, Sanchit Sandhu, who's played a lot of cricket in New Zealand too. Jonathan Fu is in the side, Hamad Azam. Boy, there is explosive batting power. Hassan Khan, over spinner, is sensational, and Milind Kumar would want the big innings today. Let's go down to pitch, where we have Mike Hazeman, and then Nikhil will tell you trivias about this beautiful arena.
I've got a story for you today. Now, this gentleman, Milton Taylor, who's been a groundsman for 40 years, spent a lot of his time playing what club cricket? Did you play what ground?
I played Senior Cup in Jamaica and I played for Kingston Club.
At Savannah Park
At
all
Savannah
the time.
Park.
Now, one of the things they did there was very special. What was that? Polishing the pitch?
Yeah. You always get a hard, solid polish the pitch to play on.
Okay, I'm not going to interfere too much. You keep doing your work because you've got to prepare. But the story I want to tell is the fact that Milton's referring to what we saw earlier today. I'm going to actually put that overlay in so I can explain a little bit better. Now, the overlay we're going to show is a bit of plastic on the pitch and then the roller rolling on top of the pitch. Now, that can only be done if the pitch is absolutely perfect and ready to go, because Milton is really pleased with the way this pitch has turned out. By the way, we were supposed to be playing on one of these other tracks today, but he's happy with this one, so we're actually staying with this pitch again today. So what that does, and it only happens at Sabina Park and grounds in Jamaica, where the roller shines it up and it puts a little bit of polish on the surface, which means the track is nice and hard. Again, it's not going to be quick at all, but it's going to be absolutely fine. I mean, there's going to be no drama with the surface. The spinners will get a bit of purchase. I don't see any issues at all. The roller's still busy on that one. That's the noise you can hear in the background. But this track looks really good. It's got that sheen to it, and it's got a big tick because it's been polished up, which means that Milton is really happy to get this going. Right, now Nickel, in the meantime, has got some interesting numbers for us.
Yeah, it's been thrilling out there in the middle, Mike. It's also been thrilling in this tournament, second season of the USPL. Just to recap on what has happened so far, we've had the 6 completed matches. Last night we had our first super over, but in those 6 matches, 98 fours, 60 maximums, and 6 players have got past the 50 mark. Who have been the individual performers? Rajdeep Darbar from the Eagles, he leads the run scorers. Ali Sheikh, the spinner from the Patriots, in the most wickets. And just before we go, a fun fact about this venue, as Milton, head curator, has worked so hard on. We had 16 T20 internationals played here, all the way back in 2010, 13 years ago, but there was one specifically that stood out. 2016, West Indies versus India. The West Indies batted first, got 244 out there, and India, in reply, lost by just 1 run. Over 480 runs scored on one day. I think we'll see some magnificent performances similar in this competition.
We will see magnificent performances indeed. And we're yearning for that first century as well. Rajdeep Darbar was looking good for one yesterday. Every time Robert County Cricket Stadium hosted a cricket match, be it USPL, be it international cricket, it's promised you good games. Winning by a margin of 1 run and then super over yesterday. This tells you that this arena is built for a lot of cricket. Out come the 2 umpires, and these 2 that you see on the screen would be raring to go as well. Rajinder Dhillon got an opportunity first up, couldn't convert that into a big one. It's important for Cowboys they get off to a good start. They played 1 game, but eventually they completed 3 games. That's because no results between 2 of them, and even the game that they played was truncated to just 5 overs, but they couldn't go past NJ Titans, who were too good for them on the given day. Tells you the importance of having bright, clear, sunny skies, and the importance of having a full game 20 over match as well. Cowboys ready to go. Raheem the Dream flipping the coin well enough to land in his favor. And now he's got to do what exactly he wanted to do. Bowl well. At least 180 on a track that's still shining and screaming runs. At least 180. There will be a little bit of moisture, I believe, in the earlier part of the day, but as the sun beats down and the day progresses, it'll evaporate. I was having a little chat with Milton, too, the head curator. He says, first 2-3 overs, just look what the ball's up to. The bowlers do have the last laugh if you try and attack a little early. Rajinder Dhillon knows that. It's quite literally a must-win game for them. Jaladua, the skipper, decides to open the batting. Very handy behind the wicket too. Someone who understands the culture of USPL and the culture of New York Cowboys. Was with them in phase 1, phase 2, now in the 2nd season as well. Gaurav was a skipper back then, now it's Jaladua. Lot of experience in this format. Rajinder Dhillon, a lot of experience back in India too. I remember an innings in Udaipur where he was swashbuckling from the word go. Inside out shots galore. 75 in quick time. Enough to put his team ahead. Phillies United, they've got a very good bowling attack. They've decided to start with Adil Bhatti, who likes the new ball. Not every time do you see him run in with the new ball, but he likes the new ball. In other tournaments, especially in the East Coast, where he captains himself, he decides to roll his arm over to start the proceedings. Now will there be a hint to swing that Adil Bhatti is known for? A slip in place. Third man fine leg inside the circle. Remember, 2 men are allowed to patrol the boundary rope. It's the first power play. Man just in front of point. Covers extra cover. That's exactly why he has a very, very wide third man. Almost a deep backward point. First runs on the board. I'm Suhas Vedam, joined by Andrew Leonard. Warm welcome.
Oh, very good morning, Suhas. Lovely to hear your thoughts on the state of play. I'm still catching my breath from last night. Barely able to sleep with the excitement of what was an extraordinary finish last night. A super over and a final ball 6. Tension, drama, action aplenty.
Absolutely right. We were hankering for a full game, a 20-over game. The cricketing gods gave us a 21-over game. That's what we were discussing. Adil from the far end. I wonder what Phillies United plan is. Adil Bhatti loves the new ball, that's all right. But there are players on the side who usually excel with the new ball because that's their primary role. Perhaps because Adil's played a lot of cricket on this ground. Oh, looks like it's just 2 balls old. That ball's just 2 balls old, but it needs a haircut. Just 2 balls in now. Little snip would do. I don't think he's bringing the scissors. I think he's bringing a whole new set of balls. Yesterday was sensational. Yesterday, was it today? We finished at 12:05. It was today, not too long ago, Andrew. You were on air. You called this.
Yeah, that was the moment. Poor old Carmi Leroux, he was completely distraught. But fittingly, baseball style, out of the ground. Not sure they've ever found that ball. It went literally out of the venue. Got about 70-metre boundaries here. That's gone 25, 30 metres and the rest over that. And what a way to win a supernova. 3 to win it was off the last ball. He hit it for 6.
It's very difficult. It's one thing to practice Yorkers. It's quite another to land it in the right area under match pressure. They did really well to take it till the super overs. The Carolina Eagles. The Eagles had no business winning when they were about 35 required of 32 for the Chicago Patriots. Then the Patriots stumbled. All thanks to Gajanan Singh, who even took the responsibility to bowl the last over and eke out a game of this kind. And the news is that Dexter Sween is still talking to Gajanan, so that's not a problem at all, Andrew.
Yeah, it was really entertaining stuff last night, wasn't it? It was maybe my favourite shot of the lot, Gajanan Singh, who was pretty frustrated with his long on fielder who gave away the overthrow or the wide throw on the second last ball. And then he ran out Shadley van Schalkwijk on the last ball.
We'll get a second run. Tajinder is quick. Just a gentle nudge. Good game awareness as well. It's not easy to get 2s in the first 6 overs. Usually you go full throttle and get a boundary. But the idea of Tajinder to watch the ball to the last moment and realize it's not there to be hit, eke out an extra run in the form of 2. There was always a single there, but 2 would require soft hands, and that's exactly what Tajinder brought to the table. Oh, good delivery from Adil. That's the right length. It's a template that he's setting for others. Celebrations galore. I don't think the night ever finished. Gajanan Singh knows the importance of this win. Young Yasir Mohammad's added another tale to tell forever. Broward County Cricket Stadium, USPL Season 2. This is a terrific start for a full T20 game that we eventually had. I told you so, says Mahas Just 3 runs of Adil's over so far. This is turning out to be a good over as well. Again, would love to push for 2. And he'll get 2 for the shot itself. Now 1 for the shot, 1 for the throw. At the end of the first one, 5 without a wicket. Adil Bhatti, Stephen Wigg. There's a lot of pace bowling to come, of course. Justin Dill and Calvin Savage are raring to go as well. It'll be interesting to see who shares the new ball. Stephen Wigg. So it's not going to be Justin Dill and Calvin Savage starting today. It's going to be Adil and Stephen Wigg. A lot of cricketing experience, comes to India as well, goes to Gurgaon straight into the Puru Academy where he practices the one that comes back in. Developed a few new slower deliveries, then went to Australia. Was phenomenal when we covered the tournament in Melbourne too. Stephen Wigg walked away a couple of times with the player of the match, and the game was done and dusted, but still took a sensational catch by putting his body on the line. Tells you that ever since he started cricket, he's subscribed to only one thought: play at your best all the time. Drew a bit of flack as well for going for that catch when the game was literally done. Big swing and a miss. Stephen Wigg gets it right first ball. That's a lovely channel to be bowling.
Yeah, nice to see Wigg into action. Didn't play in the first game for Phillies United. Left arm seamers very much in demand in this format. Good athlete, works very hard in his game. Somebody again who maybe might be in the mix, being a bit of a bolter for an American T20 World Cup squad next year. That's next June.
Not enough timing on that one. Couple of runs for sure. You go over the infield, at least a couple of runs. The outfield's much better too compared to yesterday. There were some patches where the ball slowed down. Not necessarily very quick, but it'll get better. It'll only get better as the day progresses. Partha Patnaik, one of the umpires today, experienced. And they're very popular. Robert Foster. Not getting it right as far as that line is concerned. Stephen Wigg this time around.
Keeper scampers after that one. I think a lot of the hopes of the New York Cowboys are going to rely upon those all-rounders, Obas Pinar, Milan Kumar. Keep your eyes on those two.
He's getting better, Stephen Wigg, as far as that line is concerned. Still lacking the rhythm that he usually generates in the first over itself. And as fast bowlers, we've discussed before that they thrive on rhythm.
Yeah, the biggest thing I'm delighted to see right now is sunshine sweeping across the ground. The forecast is going to get better and better for the days to come. We've weathered the storm quite literally 48 hours ago. The best part of a month's worth of rain in 36 hours. And it's miraculous to see play.
That's exactly why the curator and the groundsman deserve an award. The Ball goes to Calvin Savage. Might be seen in action with the ball in hand very soon. Adil went for 5 in his first over. Little nudges here and there from Tajinder. That's how he dealt with Adil. And then ask any of these groundsmen what does sleep mean, they'll tell you, we don't know. We really don't know. Day and night guarding the wicket. They've been sensational. 2 overs gone, 9 for no loss. For once, Milton and co. For once, stay away from the covers. You can today. Very hard-working groundsmen. They relied on a lot of grit and a 4-letter word that they absolutely love as well, hope. Fueled by those, they were able to get a game in. That is their biggest prize. Adil will continue. Oh, that's well played. And again, will come back for the second. This could be tighter than expected. And looks like he's going to continue that run all the way to the pavilion. What a good throw as well. Rizwan couldn't have asked for a better throw to collect. This is fabulous work. Phillies United have generated a wicket, it seems. All eyes on the big screen.
I think Stephen Wigg is the fielder here, and the throw is perfect. Look at it right over the top. And for me, gone for all money. I think the umpire will just want another look to make sure that the keeper hasn't broken those stumps before the throw came in. But if you can be asking for where you want to throw as a wicket keeper, it's right there. It's right over the top. There was a little bit of hesitation between the skipper, Jaladua, who did get home, but Tajinder didn't. He's gone, run out for 6, and the Cowboys are 10 for 1.
Ten for 1 in 13 deliveries. Milind Kumar has inherited a scorecard of 10 for 1. Usually opens the batting as well. Milind is yet to get that big innings out of the way. And this is why Milind's there in the first place. Extremely well done. Clean pick up and throw. And really no chance despite that dive. He was diving in despair and knew the throw was quicker than expected.
Key aspect to this run out, and this is what the batter may not have known, but you can't guess it. It's a left arm fielder. So Stephen Wigg has made ground swiftly across to his left, picked up cleanly, and then bulleted over the top. If that was a right-handed thrower, as maybe the batter suspected, he would have got home. Outstanding from Wigg and poor game awareness from Tajinder. You have to know where your fielders are.
We're discussing how sharp he is on the field and how he sets high standards for himself. Didn't take much time to prove it here. Adil's bowled well.
Good athlete, Stephen Wigg. Prides himself on his fielding. We always talk about being proficient at 2 of the 3 disciplines. So if you don't add much value with the bat down the order, and you're a fast bowler or a spin bowler who doesn't add much value at the bat, you have to be outstanding in the field. Wigg is exactly that. Big wicket.
Something had to give. Jaladua dances down the track. As easy as that. Much needed boundary for New York Cowboys.
Nice little shuffle down the crease, just trying to put Adil off his length. Not quite to the pitch of the ball, but a full face of the bat. That's the key to that stroke. So he gets it decent distance to the right of mid-off, who's quite tight in there. As a consequence, now he's just hanging back on the edge of the 30-yard circle. And take the single on now to mid-off if he wants.
Did have the room he needed to go over the top. Jaladua doesn't make contact, hint to swing as well. So far, Jalad's approach has been such that he's played the waiting game. As soon as that boundary was hit, the slip fades away as well. Loves the offside. Justin Dill with the throw. When would you see him with the ball? 3 gone, 16 for 1. The points table will spice up as we'll have more games in a sunny cricket ground here at the Broward County Stadium. Maryland Mavericks having played 4 with 5 points are up top. Carolina Eagles, similar figures for them. This game's between number 3 and number 7. New York Cowboys know the importance of this game, hence just one contest. There was a 5-over shootout that they were on the wrong side of. Stephen Big generating lovely rhythm as he runs in, and that length once again, making it difficult for Jalad to commit to it. Just in case he wants to rock back on the back foot, he needs to be absolutely sure that he'll get the time to do so. Cramping in for room as well at the last minute. A little hop and he's off. Similar looking delivery, just that the angle was a little outward this time around. (16 for 1). That's because Stephen Big produced a fantastic throw. Much better. Top of off. That's what the coaches tell you. Top of off. Over the wicket for the left arm. Top of off. Dream work. Idea was right, intention not so much. Still, it's going to be very difficult to take it. Running backwards was never going to be easy for Dill. And the ball was swerving in the little wind.
These are the hardest catches in cricket to take. Running back over your shoulder. Really difficult to gauge where it's going to drop. And you've got to make initial good yards. I don't think he did. I think he was almost running in circles for those first couple of steps, and as a consequence, he's never got into any position to catch this ball. The drop hasn't come about because of the action at the end. It's the steps at the start. They're the key ones. That is a definite chance for Dill. Not an easy chance, I'm not saying it's easy. But for me, that's a drop, and it needs to go down as one.
What's happening with the fast bowlers today? They've been phenomenal so far. Running backwards is not going to be easy. I think he was also delaying that extension of arms. He's already got a couple of good throws in. A catch on top of it would have been a perfect start for Justin Dill even before he gets the ball in hand. White ball signaled. That appeal was to throw the umpire off.
Yeah, good decision. Umpire Partha Patnaik has got this run spot on. I understand why there's an appeal. It's close in, maybe to the flap of the pad, the hip. It's definitely come off for me, nothing. And you see that clearly there. It's an appeal, not so much to get the wicket, more to maybe almost make the umpire forget to outstretch the arms. Partha won't be conned, it's a wide signalled.
Good decision there. This is better from Millen, who starts off with very textbook-like shots. Very soon will turn to the supplementary sheets. He's got all the shots in the book and beyond. Milind Kumar. I thought he started off well the previous time as well. In that 5-over shootout, a couple of shots through the point region, which was stopped brilliantly, hence not boundaries. Then he was forced to go over the top on the offside. Got that boundary at extra covered region that made him feel much better. Another single to end the over with. 6 of this over, 4 gone, 22 for 1. $22 for 1. 7 singles so far in 4 overs. Singles are a little difficult to take. Usually get the boundaries away if the ball's coming onto the bat nicely in the first 6 overs. Did get a couple of boundaries as well, the New York Cowboys. He's got to time his aggression well here, Jalal Dua, the captain of Cowboys. Adil, he's got he's bowled 2 overs already. Now 3rd on the trot for Adil Bhatti. He's represented the US as well. Adil Bhatti now 4th stump, 5th stump line, serves him well so far. Jalal Dua usually loves to throw his arms whenever he gets the width. Today he hasn't succeeded twice now.
Yeah, it's a big call to stick with Bhatti. Often when you go for a 3rd consecutive in the power play, it's very rare you see it at a very elite level up in T20 international cricket, because the batters will generally line the bowler up, particularly with still just 2 fielders allowed outside the circle.
He's cut down the boundaries. It's been about 10 deliveries since the last boundary was achieved. The New York Cowboys would love another one at this stage. It's a very tricky position to field as well, and Stephen Wigg knows that the ball comes with a lot of torque. This time he will get that boundary. Milind Kumar it is to free his arms.
This is the over. They'll have the shape and the size of Adil Bhatti now. And that's why you so rarely particularly see a seamer bowl 3 consecutively in the power play. Frees his arms. The man has come up who was out at deep backward point. He actually goes over cover, and it brings about a change in the field. Deep cover now goes back. Can Kumar now target another part of the ground? Remember, mid-off and mid-on up in the circle. Could see him use his feet here.
Good comeback by Adil. 16 deliveries bowled by Adil. It's gone for 17. It's been a little difficult to attack Stephen Wigg. Adil becomes an easier option. Milind scored his first boundary. He's looking good for more. His options of going over long on are still open. Not from the middle of the bat. Running between the wickets. He's played a lot with Virat Kohli as well back in Delhi. And of course against him when he was playing for this Sonic Cricket Club, Millard. Rajinder will have a lot of time to put his feet up and think about that run. And one thing he always stressed about is running between the wickets. Now can free his arms really well because he reached the ball. And the ball is out of reach of any fielder, hence. What a way to finish the fifth. Adil goes for runs, 5 gone, 34 for 1.
And 34 for 1 over in the power play remaining.
They're currently going at just a shade under 7 to the over. So they've just stepped on a little bit the last little while, so now they're getting things where they want to be. They've only lost 1 wicket, so that's okay. Now they've lost 2. That is brilliant. That's just come back superbly. That is a really good delivery. Brilliant stuff from Vig. Knocked that stump out of the ground. It's a big wicket as well. Milan Kumar's a fine player, but he's not going to be there any longer. Very nice delivery. Came back superbly.
Looked to be the scramble seam, and this is a variation of Wig that he does well. Usually he can bowl those cutters, but he's been given the new ball today. Bowling now his 3rd over inside the power play. What a job he's doing for his team. A massive wicket of Milan Kumar, gone for 7, 34 for 2. Jacobus Pinar comes to the middle. His team in a bit of difficulty, losing 2 wickets early inside that first power play. It's a bit of a risk as well by Cornwall to go to Wig for a 3rd over. So far it's paid off. And because they've got options in Dill, Calvin Savage, they feel they can probably save them for the back end of the innings and use Wig now with the ball swinging.
Yeah, had that wicket not fallen, they would have been looking to step on the gas in the next 5 overs. But this has just checked things beautifully. Just coming back superbly. Hitting the top of off stump, that is just outstanding bowling. Kumar's a fine player. He was struggling a little bit. We didn't see the timing we normally see from him. But he is such a good player. He could have actually taken this game on quite nicely in the next few overs. But not from the change room, unfortunately for him.
Very strong on the back foot, Jacobus Pinar. You can still see though that outfield is a touch slow because of the inclement weather we've had over the last couple of days. Pinar off and running.
Yeah, Pinar likes to go either straight down the ground or on the leg side. We see that consistently whenever he starts playing. That's slightly short, He's got long levers, just picked it up easily. There's no pace in his track, but that's okay. That's going to bring other guys into the surface as well and get them trying to get some spin and change of pace from time to time and a few cutters. But it's a very good shot indeed.
When last have you seen, Mike, the same two bowlers bowling the entirety of the power play? Wig and Batty. And to be honest, the rate is only just above 6.5. Cornwall will take this. They've got the 2 wickets as well. That last game, Raheem Cornwall did bowl in the power play with his off spin, picked up 3 wickets. So this addition of Wig definitely adds some depth to their bowling lineup and the things they can do. He's gone hard length so far. And his length has been good today, Stephen Wig. The pressure he's created from this commentary box end has helped the overall plans of this team.
It has, and it starts with this. Really good pick up and throw. Outstanding over the top of the stumps. Trying to scramble back for the second, but couldn't do it. Ginger's a pretty good player, but he was back, and then Milan Kumar. Just the start of this over. Looking for that Yorker for the last ball of the over, but really good work from Wig. Wicket off the first, 5 off the next. 6 gone, 39 for 2.
Not often you see 2 bowlers bowling the first 6 overs of a T20 game. But Wig has been the standout. Economy of less than 5 and over, 10 dots in the 18 deliveries he's bowled. Now we'll see it. Another seamer. Calvin Savage into the attack. Tall man. Expect that short of a good length area to be targeted by him. And just getting some feedback from some of the players yesterday, Mike. They reckon the best length on this surface is to go to that good length or even short of a good length because they're getting that two-pace nature. Some are skidding through, some are just holding in the surface.
Yeah, and I think that's very much the case early in the day. Sometimes that happens. I think so far we've seen this track play pretty well, but he'll hit that length. Keeper standing up did brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly down the leg side. Had to go some distance. That was quite extraordinary. A wide call, but gee, had to be sharp.
Come on, fellas. Come on, fellas.
And he's got 3 deep on the leg side. 2 square. The plan is to go straight. It's a risk. It's gone down the leg side again. Think it may have brushed the pad on the way through. Yeah, leg by signaled.
Often the case at the start of a spell that the keeper maybe should stand back. And I think we've seen exactly that story with the first 2 balls of this spell from Savage. Hasn't found his radar, and suddenly that puts pressure on the keeper. But not just that, it's going to put extra pressure on the bowler. He's going to make sure he gets things absolutely spot on. He might be thinking about other things rather than just going through what he normally does and his processes.
No man at deep point, but again you can see not even getting to the boundary. With this field, gonna try to access that offside. He's got to be very precise in terms of that line, Savage, because there is a difference in the dimensions today. 68 meters compared to 64. That 64-meter boundary, the offside for the right-hander, left of screen. So has to be straight. That's why he's got 3 deep on the leg side.
Quick single, shy at the bowler's end. Savage does the right thing because backing up with some distance behind him. You can almost see Savage when he's bowling at this stage, where he's got so much going through his mind that he's not working through his natural action. Hasn't got the rhythm that he would like, and that's because of the way he started. 2 balls down the leg side, 1 ball wide of the offside as he overcompensated.
Day 5, Jonathan Fu will want to make an impact. It's tough as well with the weather. The Cowboys haven't really had much opportunity, just that 5-over game. And they came up short against the Titans. Down the leg side again, he's struggling with the line here, Calvin Savage.
Time to go back, keeper. I think Rizwan's got to go back.
One just in, one just in.
Would have been one of the things they talked about, stand up the stumps, provide extra pressure. There's no doubt it changes a batsman's mind. Once or twice we've seen these batsmen go down the track.
Come kill.
But he hasn't got it right. I think it would have been far better off letting him settle with the keeper back.
I said again, I wonder how much the absence of Christopher Barnwell, who's obviously played for the West Indies and was in this Cowboys team for the first couple of games, what sort of impact will that have? He's so powerful, can change the game for you.
He's not feeling well today, apparently.
Another wide, 4th of the over.
I think the skipper might as well get involved here and try and get the keeper back, because this isn't working, this plan. It's a long over.
Yeah, does well. Fine leg on the edge of that circle. Finally, though, the over comes to an end. 9 from it, 52 for 2.
To the umpire, Patanaik, just saying to Cornwall that got to move a bit quicker, boys. You're behind at this stage. So the communication from Patanaik, the umpire, who's at the bowler's end at the moment, is very good to the captain. And he's got to make sure they get a little bit snappier here, because they're taking a lot of time. They don't want to lose fielders in the last couple of overs. It's already happened a couple of times in this tournament, and that can really punish you.
Yeah, time for a bit of spin. Sunny Patel, who bowled really well in that first game with a bit of a leg spin.
Now, in this sort of situation, this is ideal from Sunny Patel. He's a fine bowler. He started well. That first delivery was very good. We know that wrist spinners are the guys that generally pick up wickets in T20 cricket. When the batsmen try and escalate, that's when they come into the game.
It's been interesting though, Mike, coming into today, just looking at the matches we've had, and obviously only the 5 completed matches because of the rain, but all the captains have opted to field first, but 4 of those matches have been won by the teams batting first. Is it scoreboard pressure? Is it the surface? It's been interesting though.
Yeah, my experience when I've worked here and watched a lot of games at this venue, a lot of the games have been one batting second, so I think that's a bit of a pattern. Now, it also happened in a Masters tournament not so long ago. Let's have a quick look at that table. I think basically it works when there's a very strong batting lineup. If the batting lineup is not strong enough, then sometimes they can get in problems, and I think we've seen that in the middle. Saw it yesterday. I think that's the problem. If the guys bat really well at the top 3, for example, take total control and steer the ship home, then it's fine. But if you've got to rely on batsman number 5 and 6 and 7, then it becomes a bit of an issue.
Another thing to remember as well, there is inexperience. Well, as you have players like Cornwall, Calvin Savage and others, in that team last night, the Eagles got 5 or 6 players 21 years or younger, and even some of these players haven't had this professional experience.
And I think there's been weather around up until now, so batting second also is a good idea.
Good start from Sunny Patel, just 4 from the over, 56 for 2.
Day 5 today. I reckon today is going to be moving day. We're going to have 3 games. You've got plenty of sunshine. You can see the points table. If you go right at the end and look at the points, you've got 1 and 2 on 5. You've got 4 and 5 on 3. You've got 6 and 7 on 2. What is separating them is the wins. The more wins gets the advantage. Then it goes to net run rate. So what in the end is actually separating them is the net run rate. So net run rate is going to really come into play. Each team plays 6 games. So this is really important as Rakeem Cornwall's come into the attack. He gets through his overs pretty quickly. Each team plays 6 teams. 1 or 2 of these teams playing today have got a game in hand, so that's important, but it's a big moving day. 2 points will make a considerable difference, and teams have got to start thinking about that net run rate, because I think that's going to come into play because of some of the games that haven't been completed in the first few days of this tournament.
It's been excellent though. In the meantime, it's now 3 overs without a boundary. Cornwall's controlled the pace and tempo of this innings well. Still haven't seen Dill as yet.
Picked up 3 for 10 in the first outing he had with the ball. Rakeem Cornwall, I think he did a fine job on that occasion.
It's gone straight up. And first wicket for Cornwall is the carom ball that went away from the right-hander. And it's a crucial strike. The build-up of pressure has paid dividends.
Looks like the big fella enjoyed that. Not easy to bowl that delivery either. Really good work. Certainly undid the batsman. Yeah, terrific. Out of the fingers. Carom ball, well spotted, Nikhil. That's why it took that top edge, bit of extra bounce, moved away from the right-hander, and subsequently the smile. That's an important wicket. Dua goes for 23 off 23 deliveries, 58 for 3 now.
One more, Jimbo.
Jonathan Fu from Berbice in Guyana. Plays a lot of cricket here in the United States, especially in Philadelphia. Comes to the middle. A bit of work for him to do now in these middle overs against a barrage of spin.
This carom ball delivery that was originally bowled in the 70s, apparently. Mendes from Sri Lanka in the 80s brought it back into the game. You'll see that it just flicks out of the fingers. It turns away. And the idea is that rather than coming into the right-hander batsman, watch it go away from the right-hander, and it'll bounce a bit more. There you go, beautifully bowled.
Ajanta Mendes as well from Sri Lanka a couple of years ago, a specialist, 59 for 3. Let's go down to Roshni, who has a special guest.
I'm joined with the Phillies head coach, Winston Cornwall. Winston, walk us through the bowling partnership with Adil Bhatti and Stephen Wigg, and especially Stephen Wigg's wicket for Milind Kumar.
Well, after our first game, we assess and see exactly what is happening on the pitch. And we thought have a little bit of variety in our bowling with the left armour this morning. And I think both of them bowl pretty well in tandem this morning.
And so far, the bowlers have been doing a great job to contain the New York Cowboys. They haven't been able to really get that momentum with that third wicket just falling now, too, for the skipper.
Well, it's very good that we can make a bit of inroads into the batting, and that's what you're all about. Pick up crucial wicket, especially just after the power play. And I think these guys set it up very well for us for remaining the overs that to come.
And as a head coach, the past few days, because of the rain, there's only been one game. It's already day 5. How have you been able to keep the boys, kind of in the game, with the last few days being a break?
Well, with the weather that we have for the past couple of days, I think that as a unit, we find a lot of things to think about. I mean, as you realize that the tournament is a very fast-pacing one, give us a good opportunity that we can gel as a team better and have a lot more team bonding, and I think that pretty much gone well for us. It's all about just staying focused and rehearse your plans, get a chance to look at some of the teams that are playing in the tournament and try to execute our plan as best as we can.
Well, thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you.
Great to hear from Weldon Cornwall there, the coach of this Philly United's team, assistant coach of the Leeward Islands. And it's fantastic to see that the franchises are investing in that overseas experience to come in and share that with these players. Does make a huge difference. Got a good understanding with Rakeem Cornwall, his nephew.
This is really good work from Sonny. Apart from that first delivery, apart from that, he's tied it up superbly. I think those overseas play influences are going to increase as things go on in this tournament, as people realise how good it is. Ideal scenario for some of the younger players from overseas to come and learn as well to play in other conditions. 10 gone, 64 for 3, and also drinks.
So maybe just advantage. So the men on your screen, Phillies United, who won the toss, chosen to bowl first. And what is almost certainly a must-win game for the New York Cowboys. They've had an indifferent start, not many boundaries.
3 4s and 1 6 in total. That was a run out all about Stephen Wigg's excellence in the field. And then despite a little flurry from Milan Kumar and Jaladua, then Wigg found the second wicket. Fine talent, this left arm seamer. You can't keep Rakeem Cornwall out of the game. Little flicked leg cutter, the carom ball, and a big smile from the Phillies United captain. Continues to impress in everything that he does. And gets us to the halfway stage. Andrew Leonard here alongside young Aryan Singh, who's going to come in and join me again. Aryan, great to see you, mate. Are you still buzzing after last night?
Yeah, Andrew, I mean, I slept at 3:30 last night. Celebrations were going on. A good game of cricket in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. First signs of Justin Dill being introduced today at the halfway mark, 64 for 3. We'll see him for the first time today. Not a usual move from Rakeem Cornwall. Started the innings today with Adil Bhatti and Stephen Wigg. Usually Dill and Savage.
Yeah, I thought Dill would have bowled the 5th over. He went for 3 consecutive from Adil Bhatti, and as a consequence it was an expensive one. The Cowboys, though, they need to get moving, don't they? They really do. 65 for 3, it's on track for 130-ish. They'll want a lot more than that.
Well, they'll need to get a bit more. The FAR on this ground is around 160, 170-ish. So they're going to have to get it going now. They're going to have to look to score, get the scoreboard ticking.
Yeah, just happy to work it around for the moment, but they need to find acceleration. It will rely heavily upon Obus Pinar, I would suspect. Dill is a fine operator, isn't he? Difficult to get away, whatever the format.
Yeah, this is Justin Dill's 4 for 45 against the Chicago Patriots. The season opener in this year's United States Premier League. Picked up a lot of wickets, and this was monumental to their first victory to open up their account.
Clever bowling this time following Obus Pinar. Yeah, the batters have been the ones that have hit the headlines thus far, but Dill and a few of the other bowling performances we've seen deserve great credit too. A pretty solid mix as well, hasn't it, of seam and spin across all of the sides. I don't think that the surface is necessarily favouring either of the two. Cowboys, they need to get moving here. Time to giddy up.
Well, it has been a neutral surface, and not much is left for them from a batting perspective either. Assuming Hamad Azam comes in next, but they also have the experience of Johan Samaravikrama. They're going to have to get a move in here.
If they don't, and they end up with 130, 140, it's going to take an unbelievable bowling performance to get them out of jail. But the way in which we've seen the league develop, we're into day 5 now of the group stages. I don't think anyone could have predicted that victory in the super over last night. I'm going to look at it maybe in the next over again. It was the Carolina Eagles against the Chicago Patriots. They're the projected scores. 140, I think, is a minimum, and that's going to take 8 and over from here. So to get 8 and over, you generally need 1 boundary and over minimum. And those boundaries just haven't been coming. 4 in 11 overs so far.
Rocking it around for 1 will not do enough for the New York Cowboys here. That concludes Dill's first 5 from it, 69 for 3.
So it's triple header time, not just today, but tomorrow and Sunday. We've waited quite a while to actually get a full completed triple header day in, and I think we're going to have 3 consecutively. The weather looks set fair. And the leg breaks are going to continue. Slogsweet comes out. Has he got enough of it? Oh, yes, he has. That's gone a long way up and a long way long too. Pinar, a fine player, much more like it for the Cowboys.
Well, you must bench press a massive amount of weight to get that much power into the ball. A massive stroke from a man of his class, Offbeet Pinar. Oh, right off the middle of the bat too. Just watches it sail over.
He's got really long levers, doesn't he? Big long arms, long legs, so that extends his reach down towards Sunny Patel's stock leg break. Covered a lot of cricket with Sunny Patel in Nepal. He travelled up north of the border from India to play in a variety of franchise leagues, the Everest Premier League, a couple of other ones up there in Nepal. And he's got a very good googly as well. He's got a shade of Anil Kumble to his action. Pressure on him now with the boundary from the first ball of the over, followed up by a couple.
Well, they needed that. They needed that, Andrew. In this situation, you need to get going with a boundary in your first 2 balls. And that's exactly what Offbeet Pinar did. He got the ball in his arc and just hit it away. It's a good start for them so far.
It's the one because it's Stephen Wigg, fine fielder, isn't he? Talk about that T20 World Cup next year. Players like Stephen Wigg will be looking to use a tournament like this to get themselves into contention.
Well, having played a lot of my cricket in the Mid-Atlantic zone, I believe that Stephen Wigg is the best left-arm pacer in that zone. Someone like him, with his caliber, with his talent, will look to use these types of domestic tournaments to boost his progress to the USA selectors.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Obviously, Sarav Netravalkar is the incumbent. Out towards Wigg again. He's not going to be able to cut this one off. This is the big over the Cowboys needed. They're on the charge thanks to Offbeet Pinar. Someone like Pinar, he's been prolific in domestic cricket. I'm not sure if he's qualified yet for USA, but another one looking to stake his claim.
Just rocks away on the back foot, a bit too short from Sunny Patel. You miss, I hit, says Offbeet Pinar. And Sunny Patel had a good over before this. He was 9 runs off 2 overs. But now he's getting hit away all over the ground. As the end of the over, it's 84 for 3 after 12.
So the biggest over the innings, and finally some momentum for the Cowboys. We said they needed to giddy up, and they've started to do that, haven't they? Get on to the back of the horse of Offbeet Pinar. I think he's got to be the one. Change in bowling, 2 noises there for me. I think there was some bat involved. That's a good decision. Calvin Savage back into the attack.
I've been seeing Calvin Savage has been bowling a lot of variations in this particular over. A lot of cutters, pace off the ball. Had Janu Rizwan Mazhar, the wicket keeper, keeping up to him on some occasions.
Yeah, probably angling down. There was definitely bat as well, and this time it's inside out over extra. Well, Wigg has been everywhere. The ball's like a magnet to him in the deep. It's to his weaker side, but another run saved. Just the single to him.
Wigg is one of the most promising fielders as well. Not just a good bowler, but also a good fielder. A very valuable asset for this Phillies United side.
Down the leg side. I think this is flicked the pad. Savage was convinced, as was the keeper. The umpire unmoved. My initial sound through my ear, we hear the stump mics, and I think this has flicked the pad. First instinct, a good decision, are we right?
Well, I did hear something too, Andrew. Seems to have clipped the pad. It's a good decision from the umpire.
Oh, direct hit would have been gone. And gone for all money. Pienaar gave up the ghost. He had no option. Savage had what, 2, maybe 2.5 stumps to aim at, and couldn't affect the direct hit.
It's like when you know. It's like when you know you're in trouble. He gave up. He was hopeless. But he's got the single off of it. Oh, and direct hit would have been gone by a mile. By a huge mile. Very lucky there, Obis Pienaar. And you could see the emotions on the Phillies United. They thought they had their man.
Yeah, it's always miscommunication, isn't it, that brings about those opportunities. Pienaar, he's backing up far too far for me. Never a single there. Savage couldn't affect the wicket. It'll be a wide. So what about this from yesterday, Aryan? No surprise you couldn't get to sleep till 3:30 in the morning. Incredible scenes.
Well, Sion Hackett is a man that hits the ball very hard and very far. And Carmen LaRue missed his line. He was trying to go for the Yorker. But bang, as you said, that went 20, 30 meters away.
Well, two different pictures there. One of sheer elation and joy for your team, contrasted with despair for Carmi LaRue. Did you always believe you were able to get back into that contest last night? An amazing fight back led by your captain, Gajanan Singh.
Yeah, well, he did what all good captains do. He took responsibility upon himself to bowl that final over. And look at Gajanan Singh there, Shiva Sankar, Ravish Kanchi all running up.
Where are you at this moment, Aryan? Where are you?
Well, me and Kaz, we were sitting there. We just dabbed each other up. We didn't run on the field because we know that there's a long way to go. Long, long way to go. Still 2 more league stage games, 2 knockout games.
You're ahead of your time already, Aryan. End of the 13th. It's 90 for 3. Beautiful scenes at the Broward County Stadium. You can see all of the area that's going to be developed there already. Some of the ground foundations being laid for that. This ground is going to complete in a big way for that T20 World Cup next year. So looking forward to that T20 World Cup. The American cricket community, how excited are they to bring what's going to be a first ever World Cup to American soil?
I think it's obviously a very exciting moment, Andrew. First time in our history that we'll get to host a T20 World Cup as well as play in it. And we know how revolutionizing T20 cricket is all around the world. So it's great to see that we could bring it in the US. Not a lot of players play, but we could grow the sport in an associate nation in particular as well.
I think for me, biggest and best ever T20 World Cup we're going to see. 20 teams. Stephen Wigg returns, but we come back up to the commentary camera. We learned yesterday that Aryan Singh is only 18 years of age. Talk me through what you're about to see on your screen here, Aryan. What were you up to yesterday when you were running these drinks on? There you are. Talk me through it. Come on.
So Steve, I was talking to Steve. I was telling him, just keep it easy, stick to your plan. And he said, yeah, bro, you know how we do it.
It's a wink of a man in his late 30s. Not an 18. Where does the confidence come from, Aryan?
Well, I played a lot of my cricket with Steve. I met him last year, been training hard with him. And we're pretty similar in terms of playing style. Wicket-keeper batsmen that like to rotate the strike, hold one wicket, hold one end.
Come on.
Show someone that
you're going to teach me how to wink. Come on.
I'm not going to do all that on comms.
Come on.
I'm not doing all that on comms, Andrew. You'll catch me tonight. I'll do it on live again, 6 p.m.
He's all of a sudden gone shy. He hasn't been shy the entire tournament, I can assure you. Now, the camera's on him, he doesn't want to wink. Picked up into the leg side. Pienaar Goes boom. All the way for 6. That's again cleared the ropes by a long way. A slightly shorter side, isn't it, for the right-hander? A premeditated stroke and one of the highest quality.
Yeah, I think Albus Pienaar saw that wink. I think he saw that wink and he wanted to go for it immediately. He thought it was meant for him. A beautiful stroke. A bit too short from Stephen Wigg. Yeah, just missed his line completely and bang. Made enough room for himself to go up and over, and he's cleared the boundary by a mile.
Again, look at the long levers. I know we pointed them out before in the sweep shot, but this time it's the full extension of the pull shot, and it's the shuffle across the stumps that has made that leg side accessible. That one there is going to look very good on the camera. The big photo lens has been taken in, and as a consequence, there's pressure now on Wigg in his final over, and he's going to have to come around the wicket now. First time really in the game there's any pressure on the bowling side. The Cowboys starting to move. Starting to gallop, if you will. Now, can he get 2? He's got to get back on strike here. Well, he might get 3 if he wants it. It's Dominic Ricky out there who's got himself in a tangle. 100's up, and the Cowboys are on the march.
Yeah, Dominic Ricky is one more prospect that we were mentioning. We were talking about that T20 World Cup. A man with international experience, has played the age group levels in Guyana. And yeah, look at that lovely piece of fielding. A bit of footwork from Dominic Ricky, collides into his teammate.
I know there's a Paris Saint-Germain academy here at this facility. Not sure either of those players are going to get themselves into the eyes of the football selectors. So David Beckham taking in the Cricket World Cup semi-final. What about that? How good was that to see?
Well, it'd be funny to see Messi at the Americas qualifier, don't you think? Andrew, you see Argentina there.
There's a good point. Messi's only down the road now, isn't he? Inter Miami. I think that's
that is Inter
name
Miami
of the club. So when we got T20 World Cup games here next June, come on, let's get the Argentinian to the cricket ground.
Maybe we might see him.
Great connection between Argentina and Bangladesh, actually. Maybe he'll be taken. Outstanding. What a catch that is. Just one hand stuck out. And somehow he's clung on. It's the big wicket 2 of Offbeet Pienaar. The change of angles worked. Wigg has his second massive wicket in the game.
What a take. What a beautiful take. Just extends that right in and bang, just sticks in the glove like it's glue. And he's so calm and collective. John Stephen Wigg is electric. And the dreaded finger is raised by the umpire. A big breakthrough. Offbeet Pienaar, the man who they needed to get the pars for 40. A Werriveld played from him. 101 for 4, 1 to go.
Hamid Azam to the crease. Not a bad little platform for him, but the Cowboys will have wanted Pienaar to kick on. Big moment in the game. They've gone to Wigg before the death. He probably doesn't have the pace necessarily, although he does hit the wide block hole very well. So they bowled him out early. Despite that maximum, that pull shot that was hit from over the wicket, the change of angle has worked. As a consequence, with Jonathan Fu struggling to get going, the Cowboys are again in a position where they have work to do. A long way to 160 plus from here. They'll need 10 and over to get there. Bowls him. What a spell from Wigg. Outstanding in the field and brilliant with the ball. He's got 3 for it and 2 in 2 to round out his spell. A dream end. Outstanding from Wigg.
I called Wigg the best left-arm pacer in the Mid-Atlantic, and I still stand by it. Not just because he's taken back-to-back wickets, but because of the pressure that he's putting on this Cowboys side now. An inside edge, a man of Hamid Azam's class has to depart. And look at that, he just hit the deck. and he's stuck to his plan there, Stephen Wigg. Look at that, he's pumped up. All of Phillies United is pumped up. The Cowboys back on the back foot now. Weight transfer back on the back foot, no longer on the front, no longer on the up. Hamad Azam's got to go for naught. It's 101 for 5 after 14.
Hassan Khan to the crease. He's in at number 7, but he'll be at the non-strikers end. We won't see the hat-trick ball. The reason why Stephen Wigg has finished his spell. And Raheem Cornwall, this is good captaincy. He turns back to himself. And this is a real chance now to get a cheap over in. United, just as the Cowboys were coming back maybe into the ascendancy or close to it, well, Phillies have struck back in a big way. 2-2 for Wigg.
Yeah, and Raheem has started off very well. The experience of him, 2 dots to begin with, and the Cowboys don't have much time. They've got to get going now. Puts more pressure on them that the first 2 balls are dots.
Slog sweep man out there. This should be gone. Dominic Ricky, he's not going to put that down. Well, it's the Raheem Cornwall show here in Broward. He hasn't even batted yet. He can do no wrong, and the smile as broad as the sun that's coming across this ground. A pat on the back for the broad-shouldered skipper. Just too good, lovely curve through the air, and he's deceived Fu, who's holed out in the deep.
It's going from bad to worse for the New York Cowboys. 3 wickets in less than 8 balls, less than 6 balls maybe. And an easy catch for a man of Dominic Ricky's caliber. Look at that big smile from Jimbo. The skipper's produced another breakthrough. And the Texas Cowboys remain on the back foot. Too much pressure for Jonathan Fu. How didn't get going? 9 from his innings. It's 101 for 7.
Gihan Senanayake to the crease at number 8. He's probably had a mad dash to get his equipment on, because Obis Pinar had helped drive the total from 58 for 3 all the way up to 101 for 3. And then Phillies United have gone bang, bang, bang. 3 wickets all falling on the score of 101. The first 2 going to Stephen Wigg. And now a 2nd wicket for Raheem, the dream Cornwall. He is brilliant to watch, isn't he? 6'7", he told me at the toss. I didn't actually realise till I met him in person for the first time that's how tall he is. I thought he was 6'4", 6'5", 6'7". Big tall off spinner. And has that tickled the thigh pad? It has. So the first 2 wickets were to Wigg. That was the big one, an outstanding catch from Wiswan Nizar. Then the chop on from Hamad Azam, and then Raheem, the dream, does what he does best.
Catch him, Ricky, catch him, Ricky. Easy.
Yeah, big pressure now, Andrew. A very good over, no runs conceded from it so far. And Jimbo is doing his job. He's doing his job very well. And you could see the manager right there, very very disappointed so far. The face says it all. The face says it all. A maiden from Jimbo, the skipper, 101 for 6 after 15.
So 15 overs gone, 101 for 6. They've collapsed here. They were 101 and coasting for only 3 down. So now they're 101 for 6. 5 overs remaining, and somehow they've got to try and step on the gas, but that's difficult when 2 men have just arrived at the crease and they haven't got going at all.
Yeah, interesting move from Cornwall as well to go back to Sunny Patel. He has options. He's got Savage with 2 overs up his sleeve. Adil Bhatti will do decently well in that power play. The big surprise has been Justin Dill. Picked up 4 in that first game. He's only bowled 1 over today. It just shows you, though, the multifold of options that Cornwall has at his disposal.
And the good thing about it is they're actually genuine options. Yesterday we saw 8 bowlers used last night in that game. I mean, there weren't guys that are full-out options. There were bowlers who were just used from time to time because the other guys weren't getting it right. So that's why the captain had to chop and change. Rakeem has got genuine options to work with today, which makes them a good team.
And the way Wig has bowled, I mean, the 3 overs in the power play were impressive enough, but the subtle variation, that scramble seam he's used really well, and he's got the ball to just come back in subtly. And that wicket of Hamad Azam could be the most important one because of the 6 hitting ability he possesses. Just 1 ball for him today.
Let's not forget that catch that Rizwan took as well, moving sharply to his left. I think it was Obus Pinai who was the man that was sent on his way on that occasion when he was on 40. That was a brilliant catch, just reflex.
Extra fit into the leg side. They've used the dimensions well today, making full slog sweep into that big side. Cornwall's a smart cricketer, really intelligent.
Great to hear all the comments, the encouragement, the enthusiasm from the keeper too, Rizwan.
Touch quicker from Patel for that final delivery, but the 16th over's only gone for 3 runs. Well in front, Phillies United, 104 for 6. Going down at 101, but to their credit as well, even with Jacobus Pinar there who got the 40, never really got away. Chance again, makes a really good effort. I think it may have just fallen short of Adil Bhatti on that long off boundary.
And that is outstanding fielding. He was committed, he was going for the catch, but he had the presence of mind to dive and smother the ball as well. Most guys would have missed that and would have gone through for a boundary. That is outstanding. Really good work.
Yeah, Jimbo. Yeah, Jimbo. Kwame, come Kwame. I'm the man.
I think it's quite important just to have a close look at that carom ball that Rakeem bowled earlier. Just to explain it better, it's an unusual grip. The ball's held between the thumb, the forefinger and the middle finger of the bowling hand, and it's flicked out of the top, flicking his thumb and the middle finger in order to impart spin on that delivery. Wicket. Cornwall is just picking up wickets all the time. He picked up wickets in the first game they played. He's got 3 again this time now, 3 for 10 previously, 3 for 6 at the moment. The carom ball picked up the first wicket that he got. This is outstanding stuff for the big fella. And they are playing so nicely at the moment, Phillies United. All over the New York Cowboys like a rash. Outstanding work.
Yeah, again, really using the dimensions of the field well. And the extra bounce will make it difficult to be able to pull comprehensively. Picks out one of 3 fielders in the leg side. So the 9K goes for just 2. 107 for 7. Real trouble for the Cowboys. Well, one of the innovations in this year's USPL is the use of the impact player. They've had a collapse now, the Cowboys, so they've gone for Chiranshu Bhatia, who's an all-rounder but known for his progression in the middle to back-end overs, can really get the game going. And they need some momentum now. So Tajinder Singh, the opener, won't have any further impression on the game. Now time for Bhatia. Can he muster something in these remaining 19 deliveries?
Lost 4 wickets for only 6 runs. That's how it's been the collapse. Far from ideal. Got to somehow get back on top here with lusty blows. They were so well set. 1 ball shy of the 14th over, 101 on the board.
What an over, what a spell from Rakeem Cornwall. Just through from the over and a wicket, 107 for 7. Bhatia in as the impact player. And he was part of this Cowboys team back in phase 1 last season. Last wicket to fall, Rakeem Cornwall, 3rd wicket on the day.
Just picked him out beautifully. Hardly had to move. Simple catch. Sat up quite nicely, so had plenty of time really to not hit it straight to that man, I suppose. I guess at that stage it was all about trying to get as many boundaries as they possibly can. Hence the big fella getting in the game yet again. Fine spell.
Time for Justin Dill. What a shot that is. So delicate and effective.
Yeah, calculating shot that. Looking for boundaries at the right time. First ball of the over. Try and set up a big over to get him back on track. Just open the blade perfectly and ran it off the face. That's a really good shot. Not too much wrong with that delivery. 3rd man inside the circle, spotted by the batsman.
The plan is going to be making this batter hit into the bigger side. I wonder if they can maybe push deep 3rd on the boundary and bring up one of those 3 fielders on the leg side. Thinking of 2, they'll just settle on the 1.
I know the Phillies are on top in this game at the moment, but the enthusiasm out there from Rizwan, in particular the keeper, and really just making sure the rest of the guys are on the button is outstanding. That's what you want to hear in a T20 game. Yes, they're playing nicely, so it's easy to go that way, I suppose, when they got 7 down and suddenly there's been this big collapse. But you've got to have someone who's in charge in the field, and Rizwan as keeper is doing a fine job.
Good plan, and it works from Dill. Mid-off was up, so he went wide, had to be very precise. It's a multifaceted bowling lineup, this. The addition of Stephen Wake could be a real critical one for them going forward in this competition because of the ability to bowl across the 3 phases.
It's got great variety. I think they've got most bases covered. I would be happier, I think, if that man at short third man was deeper. I think he's got to be back so that allows him to bowl that line that he wants to bowl and doesn't get run down the third man again. He's hitting that hard length, backing his own ability.
And it's been a change for Dill as well. A good showing of adaptability because he's someone that bowls the new ball, tries to get sideways movement. On this surface, he's been given a different role, different responsibility to come at the back end and mainly take pace off like that last delivery. Now Stephen Wake, he's done really well today. First game of the tournament for him, in starting with a run out in that power play and then bowling from the other end, he was superb.
Yeah, that movement back in was outstanding. Third man to play again. The batsman can't do too much. This bowling's really good from Justin Dill at the moment. Wig again. Look at that. Terrific work. Bang on the money. Really good. That's an outstanding catch. That is just magnificent from Rizwan. Chopping on that time as well. Numbers are outstanding.
Seeing all 3 of those dismissals as well. The scramble seam, the ball is subtly moving off the pitch and back into the right-handers. Pinar just got a touch too close to him and running it into the keeper's gloves. Really good work from Wake. Should just be 1. A lot of protection in that leg side. They'll take this. Just the 5 singles to end the over. 116 for 7. Been a dramatic collapse from the New York Cowboys. And those 2 wickets of full Pinar critical. They were just forming a partnership. Pinar was beginning to find the boundary with more regularity, but since that partnership, it's been a big decline in terms of the run scoring. And Rakeem Cornwall bowled his 4th and final over.
I think if you analyse this innings at 101 for 3 with 6 overs to go, they were set, if they played well, to get 160, maybe even 170. Now they're really struggling to get to 130.
Has he got enough on it? Just enough. A much-needed boundary.
It's a really good shot, actually. It's a brave shot with the man down there. He's not the tallest, so it went over the top, but it's a really good shot. Nicely played by Hassan. Had to reach for it at the end, bit of turn back into him as well. Had to adjust on the bounce this time, just the single.
I think you summed it up perfectly, Mike. It's not an easy stroke because of the fact that he's hitting against the spin. Good use of the feet as well. Don't see Cornwall being hit to the boundary too often. Just 6 runs he's conceded before that delivery. This could be more runs. It will be more runs. A robust strike from the impact player, Shirantru Bhatia.
Had plenty of time to wait for that. A little bit slower through the air. No effort whatsoever needed from the batsman. He had to pick that up and just launch it. Really good work. That's the job he's been given. Just sets up superbly.
A rare miss of length from Cornwall because it's hitting into the much smaller boundary. Now he comes from around the wicket. He's able to go much quicker and go that Yorker length. But 14 from the over. If they can get a good finish here, get up to 150, game on.
Yeah, they've cruised past that 130 mark. These 2 sixes in this over have made a big difference in their score line.
This time very straight. And will get into the boundary. It's a huge over, much needed from the Cowboys. 18 coming from it, 134 for 7. A huge 19th over, just 1 remaining. How many can they get? 150's on the cards here, 16 away from that.
That's got to be their target. That's the thought process, surely.
Right, now Justin Dill given the responsibility to bowl this final over. He's got 3 deep on the leg side, protecting that big boundary.
One thing that's been very noticeable throughout this tournament so far is at the death overs, long off and long on have always been on the wide side. Doesn't matter if it's seamers or spinners bowling. We saw the last ball, the last over from Cornwall was hit straight and that went for 4. So if they can get something to go nice and straight, they'll be sitting pretty. The length that Dill is bowling is fairly predictable. There's an opportunity, I suppose, to get down and launch him straight back over his head with that length that he's bowling.
I thought we would see this. A third fielder now going deep on that offside because it's a risk going pace off, and that off cutter can be hit with the spin into the smaller side. So understand this plan. Expect full and wide from Justin Dill. And he premeditates it well. Third maximum for Hassan coming in quick time. This could be really important.
Just have a look at the way he moved across. That was his mindset. He knew where the line was going to be, so he wanted to try and go as straight as possible. That is really good batting. Forced Dill to go even wider, but got enough behind that to go right over the top of the man at long off. That's a really good shot. Second time we've seen a brilliant shot from him.
Field stays the same. Does he go back to full and wide? Good battle this. This time pace on.
Just a bit of bat on that. Would have raced away for a boundary, I think, nice and fine. Length is a little bit shorter. He was trying to go the same way, but it was a bit shorter. Oh, this is the 6 rather, a couple of balls ago. It's a really good shot. Really nicely played. Follow up with a bit more venom with the previous delivery straight after it.
Now deep point comes into the circle, so now has the option of going Yorker or into the pitch. Square leg on the boundary. Down the track. And enough for no. What a take that is. Sunny Patel. They've been really good today in the field. Electric. And what a catch that is. That could be a huge moment.
That is absolutely magnificent. I think that is clean. The umpire's going to want to check that, but I'm pretty sure that is clean. His foot did touch the advertising triangle. He did go out of play, but that was when the ball was in the air. Magnificent. For starters, brilliant balance as well, and good game awareness. We've got to check the no ball. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. No dramas whatsoever with that. What a magnificent catch. It went nice and high, looking to repeat. Hassan got underneath it. He thought he was okay, I think, at that stage. Sunny Patel's down there looking at the guard, the advertising triangle as well. Outstanding balance there. Knew he was over balancing, and at this stage he had no choice but for that foot to go out of play, and then he just touched it with the foot coming back, but I'm pretty sure the ball was in the air. This is going to give us a bit more of an indication, I think, as well. Just the pause here. I'm not sure there's any connection at that stage. I think he's okay. Then he knew he was in trouble. and had to release it. In the air, came back, took the catch. I think we're good. Oh, I'm not so sure about that. I'm giving that out. Not sure about that one. There was connection with the advertising triangle, but the ball was in the air. Oh, I think that was out. They are going to have...
Yeah, that's very interesting. Really interesting. You need to see that again. But it's a crucial, significant moment in the game. Could have been a wicket, instead it's a maximum. So 6 runs to the tally.
I think this is out. Now let's just go through it again. He was overbalancing. That was the crucial part. I don't think when he was overbalancing there that he was touching the advertising triangle. Then he did, but the ball was released. That is out. The players practice this. Have a look at this. There's no movement of the advertising triangle at this stage. I don't think there's any kicking of the rope at all. No, I don't see any movement whatsoever. That's when he knew he was in problem. Released the ball, foot went over, came back. That's out in my book.
And this time, the keeper says to check, but it's gone for sure. However, it's still an important maximum to the tally. Really crucial partnership this though. It's broken 30 from 12 between these two.
Just a bit of aggression, I think, out there. It was a very good catch. Really was a fine grab. Went sharply. Very next ball he was dismissed. Raising the finger and also asking for it to be checked as well. Tongue in cheek, obviously. Umpire just asking him to please just hang on a bit. There it is. He wants to send it upstairs. I'm sure it's all tongue in cheek and not being too serious about it. Obviously upset with the fact that the previous one was given not out. Wow. Righto, Khan. Nicely played. 34 off 18, 147 for 8. It's a nice recovery at the moment.
Such a crucial contribution from Khan. That partnership mentioned it. 30 from those 12 deliveries. How important could that be? They get to that 150 mark. Psychological advantage as well. Remember, chasing hasn't been the easiest in this tournament so far. You expect the surface to get a touch better. Gaurav Grover's come to the middle now at 10 for the Cowboys. They won't get to 150, but you think a formidable 148, given that they were 101 for 6 in what was the 15th over. So a good comeback. However, Rakeem Cornwall and the Phillies United will be probably the happier of the two teams. The way they controlled the pace in the middle, took consistent wickets and will back themselves to chase this.
Yeah, I think Phillies United will be quite happy with that. They would have been a little bit concerned, as I mentioned earlier, about over number 14 when they were getting a little bit of tap around the place, but I think they'll be okay with this right now. Because that total is, 150-ish, 149 to win. Is perhaps going to stretch them. They get a good start, they should be fine. Here we go, the umpires are just having a chat to one or two of the players. Just a little bit of controversy with that catch. Quick look at the cards.
Yeah, 32 runs from the last 2 overs, and it was all about that partnership from Hassan Khan, well supported by Chiranchu Bhatia, the impact player. Jacobus Pinar got 40, top scorer of the innings. A decent start by Jala Dua as well.
So important in this format that you get a good start. Partnerships are seriously important. You get going at the top, you're okay. 24 wasn't bad, I suppose. Kumar is involved in that. Milan Kumar on the second wicket. 43, Obus Pinar and Jonathan Crew. That was nice work off 34 deliveries, and then really good work. Hassan 40 with Charansu of 18 deliveries only. That really propelled them nicely and provided recovery, but that collapse is something that really pegged them back. 3 for 25 for Wig, and then 3 for 13 for Raheem Cornwall. They're the pick of the bowler, so good work from those. 4 of the wickets was really interesting, losing all those wickets at 101. 3 going down with 101 on the board, and that really put them on the back foot. That's the target. Phillies United need 149 runs to win. They got 20 overs. We've got sunshine. We're going to have fun in the second innings.
So Phillies United, they're taking on the New York Cowboys. The Cowboys have put 148 on the board. Now they need to defend it to get their first win in USPL 2023. Phillies United, they need to start this run chase about 7.4. This is how the Cowboys went.
Yeah, the Phillies won the toss, selected to bowl. The track was just stopping perhaps a little bit right at the top. That run out was outstanding. Stephen Wigg getting that throw right over the top of the bails. And Wigg again in the game, it came back superbly, not off stump out of the ground. Captain was into play. That was the carom ball. Magnificent work, bit of balance, went away from the batsman. And this is when some of the runs were coming. So this was an opportunity. That was brilliant. That was magnificent reflex catch from Rizwan. Wigg kept getting in, and so did Cornwall. Nice work from him. Picking up wickets. He had 3 for 6 at this stage, if I'm not mistaken, when he picked up that wicket. But he wasn't finished yet. Bit of tap just towards the end. Good recovery. They lost wickets. 3 wickets at 101 on the board. 4 wickets for just 7 runs at one stage. But this is really good work from Hassan Khan. 34 off 18 to propel things quite nicely. This was the disputed catch. I'm sure that was out actually, but it was given not out. Really good work from Sunny Patel. Something the players do practice quite a lot of these days, but it is spectacular when it happens, and he knew exactly what to do. So good stuff from him. And the target in the end of 149 is a target. At one stage they're looking at somewhere around about the 170 mark. That was not out. That was out, as signalled by Rizwan also. And he wanted to send upstairs, have another look also. That was also a bit of fun from him, a bit of tongue-in-cheek fun. So there's the target, 149 to win from 20 overs. And we have got plenty of sunshine here in Florida today, which is outstanding to see. And the track is going to get better and better as the game goes on. Later on, I think, with the baking in this hot sun, the spinners will come into play as well. So we are set for a nice little chase. They'll want to get a good start, Phillies United. If they win this game, they'll go to the top of the table. The Cowboys, well, they've got to really win this to stay in the hunt to a certain extent, because they're in trouble if they happen to go down in this all-important encounter.
They'll be looking forward to explosive batting from Raheem Cornwall. He has only 1 gear. As far as the Cowboys are concerned, early wickets are key. They've got some good spinners too, but early wickets are key. Jalal Dua is more of a spinner's captain, is what we've seen in USPL. But today, the inclusion of Kulwinder Singh Kinda, will it bring luck for the Cowboys? Raheem Cornwall. You ask him, he says 6'7". Google tells you 6'5". Doesn't really matter. Batter of tall order, 77 matches, 1,350 runs. Strike rate's unbelievable. And that 102 more than, and that bat drop celebration after that 102 or 48 balls was just sensational to watch.
Yeah, you're right. That height doesn't matter too much. That strike rate certainly does. So if he gets going, a bit of strategy maybe, get him laughing, get him joking a bit, get his concentration away. A lot of these players, opposition players, and versus the guys in the middle, blue versus the yellow guys, know each other very well. Great to see the camaraderie that's going on in this tournament so far as well.
Dominic Ricky strikes at 152 in his defense. 2 games, not a lot of runs. Dominic Ricky, again, a player of international quality. And him first time in Oman for the Cricket World Cup League 2. I think Scotland, Nepal and Oman. Now Kulvinder Singh Kinda. He works with a brilliant angle. Usually wants a slip, but the captain said, let it slip my mind. Fine legs inside the circle, very wide, long on. The plan would be to take it away from the right-hander. Kulvinder Singh Kinda. First time in USPL Season 2. Starts off well.
Well, he's got third man inside the circle, and that third man inside the circle is quite wide. So if there's any neck off the bat, any connection with the willow, that's going to just scream away with no slip in place. 999 on his back by the looks of it. It's a little bit unusual. I'm not sure I've seen that before. He's got a job to do with this new ball.
Change of angle. Round the wicket, Rakim's launched this one straight up. Bottom hand came off. And the ball will have just enough to go for 4. Teasing the fielder till the end. Rakim's begun his innings.
Kulvinder Singh thought he had him. Thought that was going very high and not very far. Not sure about this control from Rakim. 2 hands on the bat when he made connection, then he made release. That's why it went so far in the end. Not as far as they normally go when he gets hold of it. There was the release of the bottom hand.
Oh, that's well struck. Really well struck. 1 bounce into the fence. Rakim is in control. 2 boundaries back to back.
Strike rate 266. 2 balls into the innings. Make it 3.
This time was ready for it. Sliding down the leg side a little bit. Rakim ready for it. Just had to bring his big bat down in time. Has chosen a very safe area, especially in the first power play when just 2 can be at the boundary rope. It's not getting the right line there. Kulvinder Singh Kinda.
Well, it's got to be quite imposing bowling to Rakim Cornwall. You know he's going to look to dip at you as much as he possibly can. So anything that's pitched up that he can get under, that means you're bowling at a good length, is probably going to be a very dangerous delivery with the power that Rakim Cornwall has. So I guess he's got to be a little bit short of length maybe.
In the air for a brief moment. It's been that kind of a start for Kulvinder. Rakim Cornwall has been in control a couple of times, not in control a couple of times. It's been a mixed start for Rakim too. He's got 2 boundaries away though.
I can only think that last delivery, 999, tried to bowl a Yorker. Missed it by some distance.
And that's the story. Rakim gets hold of it. And it was never to be seen again is the way this story will end too. 14 for no loss in 1. Dominic Ricky had a wonderful seat in the house to see Rakim. What a shot that was, the last one. Read the length early once again. 14.06 for Rakim Cornwall, as he loves to face the first ball most of the times.
So a couple of full deliveries disappeared. Then he tried to bowl a little bit shorter. Not short enough because this just sat up beautifully, and he loves playing those shots. Off around about the hip, so the line didn't help either. And that just was launched a long, long way, right out of the screws.
Incredible hit. And the fact that he makes it look so simple. And the ball travels a long, long way. Surely 6 hitting cannot be this simple. Sanchit Sandhu and New York Cowboys, what they've done is they've looked towards the West Coast for new ball bowlers. First school win there now, Sanchit Sandhu. He's got a lot of experience playing in New Zealand as well.
Your first over goes for 14. Things get a little bit deflated out there. You've got to make sure that the second over is a really good one to get things back on track.
Oh, good delivery. He's changed his action a little bit. He's changed his run up a little bit. Comes slightly closer to the crease, to the stump. Using the popping crease really well. These are things that he had worked on for a couple of years as he toured different places within the country to play cricket.
Sandhu on strike. There's an opportunity to bowl tidily. He won't do anything too extravagant, I don't think. Also, there won't be, certainly won't be, any short singles.
In your follow through, it's difficult to get there. This is excellent work. I still think there was a single available. Not sure Rakeem judged it that way. Dominic Ricky, who had played the shot, was already on the front foot, would have run for it.
It's also for Sandhu, he's got to just adapt to that also. Normally he'd be looking for single there, but there's no backing up from the big fella at the non-striker's end. I'm afraid he's going to have to dealing in boundaries here or a long single. That's the only way he's going to get Rakeem down the other end.
Inside edge, half an opportunity. Sanchit Sandhu started off well. 3-dot ball strung together. He's got a delivery that swings back in as well, but today there hasn't been any swing for the first 9 deliveries. No slip in place as well.
Doesn't matter who you are, when you're on naught you want to get started. So there's 3 balls that could have perhaps gone for one. Certainly one could have been a single to get off the mark, but nothing from Rakeem. Bit of a chat actually after that delivery, Rakeem and Dominic.
Oh, good shot. Sanchit Sandhu misses his mark. Dominic Ricky gets a gift to open his account.
Yeah, that's good stuff from Dominic Ricky. Full toss, whipped away. Tries to get nice and close to the stumps to Sandhu when he's bowling. Just has to jeer away at the last minute, has to go to his left a fraction, which might just unsettle him a fraction in that delivery.
Can Rafi be humble? Knew that there was no bat on it. Sanchit Sandhu, it's now suddenly become a mixed bag of an over for him. Started off really well, one poor delivery which was dispatched for 4. Dominic Ricky now looking more confident after that boundary. When one of his favorite things, swing, is robbed off him, how does Sanchit respond? Can't get a run this time either. Went at it with hard hands. 2 gone, 18 without a wicket. Mavericks and Carolina Eagles 1 and 2. Phillies United would want to go past both the teams up top with a win today. New York Cowboys are searching for their first win. This points table is getting nicely spiced up, I tell you, as we approach the semi-finals.
Good stuff from Sandhu in that last over, by the way, to get things back on track. Runs off that first over, 14 of them, then just 4 off the second from Sanchit Sandhu. Sung Khan now, left arm orthodox.
Even though it was a 5-over shootout that New York Cowboys were a part of against the NJ Titans, Hassan Khan was very expensive as he bowled in the power play. Today I want to script something new. It's not the Hassan Khan that we usually see in Chicago regions dominating with the ball in hand. Can he make a difference today? Lot of ground to be covered for the nearest fielder. Raheem Cornwall subscribed to this thought that just a chip over the infield is all I need. He's not even trying to hit the ball hard.
I like this change. No pace on the bat. He's got to do all the work. It is a brave change with only 2 men allowed outside the circle. And Raheem Cornwall is on strike, but hit that very high. Fortunately for Cornwall, hit a little bit wide also.
Just love this from Phillies United. Dominic's about precision, Raheem's about power. Two contrasting styles of batsmanship.
Catch it! Back up.
Raheem's taken a single. Raheem's taken a single to put himself on strike. Would you want to add that to the highlights, Mikey?
No one at long on. He might fancy that long on region rather than the long off, even though it's turning away.
Oh, good job. That's one way to keep him quiet. Raheem Cornwall not getting room. Hassan Khan targeting his legs, and that too very quick. I think that was the quickest in the overs so far.
Man at deep mid wicket, but long on might be the fancied position to launch over the top of that man. They just fielded that delivery.
Catch it is the call, just over. And then it'll go for 4. This is painful for Hassan. Getting a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, he's done nicely up until now. That last ball just a little bit short and a little bit wide. Thrashed in the air through the covers by Raheem Cornwall. No chance for anyone in that inner ring. They can actually sit on the circle. They're not going to be looking for quick singles. They can sit on the edge of the circle, those fielders.
Catch it!
Once again, inside out. Surely not this easy. It's going to go for another 4. And he's hitting them softly, I believe. 23 of 10, 3 gone, 28 for no loss.
I just like the finesse from the big fella, particularly that last delivery. Just opening that blade. That is really clever, really nicely played. Over the top of that inner ring. Had to make that adjustment. It was around about leg stump. It's really nicely played. Good skills.
They're just allowing just enough footwork for him to allow that bat to come through. Hamad Azam. We've stressed on the point that Hamad Azam starting to bowl again is a big plus for any side that he's a part of. Today, New York Cowboys know that he'll be raring to go because he didn't score much with a bat in hand. Very, very effective in the power play too. Hamad Azam needs to pick up a wicket for Phillies United to be stopped. Otherwise, Raheem Rampage will continue. 23 of 10.
Yeah, they're going at 9.5 for the over, so they're away. Phillies United. Required run rate from here is only 7.
Just a hint of swing, I thought. Just a hint of swing.
Always good to see when the ball's nice and new. Someone who can swing the ball. That adds a real dimension. Just have a look at this, just snake away. Nicely bowled.
Now if he can pitch it up and invite a slip as well, can be a different story. The ball's nice and new despite 23 of 10 from Raheem. Hamad Azam's holding it a little differently as well, that cricket ball. I think he starts off holding it like a spinner.
So Dominic Ricky's got a job here because this is swinging. He's not going to look for a short single clearly with Raheem at the other end. He knows that by now, but again, just look at this ball, just swinging a little bit, just enough. Nicely played. Got to treat this with respect. And he's scoring runs at will up until this stage.
Ricky's had enough. And long on is one of his favorite places to go to. Now into the double figures.
That's an outstanding shot. That's one way of negating the swing. Go down the track, just a couple of paces. Really nicely played. Man inside the circle at mid-on. He realised that, so he could get it away for half a dozen. It wasn't any great risk. But that's going to put the little bit of pressure back on the bowler. So nice negating of the swing. Good counter-attack.
This is a headache for Jaladua. Not just Rakeem. Ricky has started to go big too. Phillies United have notched up 34 already. This should be taken, and it will be taken. Hamad Azam's finally had the laugh. Ober Spinar's completed the catch, and Ricky will return to the pavilion.
He's going to be furious about that. He was playing nicely. Could play his natural game the other end. Rakeem is thrashing the ball all over the place. I mentioned the respect. He had to have that because of the swing. He's got a leading edge there, trying to play it too square on the onside, and it presented an easy catch to Ober Spinar. So that first wicket was going along nicely, and then just an error. That's all it takes. Ricky's on his way. 34 for 1 United.
Saad Ali comes to the middle because Rakeem and Ricky had notched a good partnership, though. It was Ricky who was unfortunate to get out. Good comeback by Hamad Azam, who at the last moment retracted the lane, seeing Ricky come forward again to negate the swing. 34 for 1 now, Phillies United. And Saad Ali, revered red ball cricketer, and of course was a part of the Pakistan side under Shoaib Malik's captaincy. When it comes to the ODI cricket, two men who played against each other and with each other a lot of time. This will ensue an interesting battle, Mike.
Automatically took the single. Rakeem wasn't too sure about it, but in the end decided to go. Now when you're facing as a right-hander, a bowler who's swinging the ball away, you've got to make sure that you don't try and play too square on the leg side, because that is always the danger, that leading edge. Good work from Pinar to move around and take that catch. Just watch this. Trying to hit it really around about square leg. That's the error that was made, and he will know that now, sitting unfortunately in the dugout.
It's the second time Ricky's got a start but not converted. Oh, that'll be 4. No, it wouldn't be. Good job. A little bit of soccer as well. 5 legs inside the circle. These deliveries usually disappear. 4 gone. 36 for 1. .24 of 11 for Rakeem Cornwall. Saad has joined him as Dominic is back in the hut. Found himself back in the hut because of Hamad's beautiful delivery, by reading the batter's mind early. Adil, Stephen, Kwame. I'm sure that batting lineup will change. Sanchit Sandhu gave away just 4 in his first over. What does he ask for? An extra grip on the bat?
I know some players in the past who had crazy numbers of grips on the bat. Clive Lloyd was the one I certainly remember. In the old days, he used to have 5 or 6 grips on his bat. That's all about just feel, really.
6 grips on the bat.
Yeah, I used to use a 3-pounder, big, heavy Duncan Fernley bat. Such a strong, powerful hitter. Wonderful cricketer, Clive Lloyd. Wonderful cricketer.
Milind Kumar at mid-off has been a phenomenon, especially when it comes to T20 cricket. Unbelievable catches that he's taken. Been a treat to watch indeed. And Rakeem Cornwall has been a treat to watch today. 24 of 12. Interestingly, the bowlers have tried to target his legs a little more. Swift does that. 6 hitting is not so simple. Why do you make it look so simple? What a shot.
Just picked it up so easily. Concentrate on the line of this delivery. It was around about the off stump. He had no problem whatsoever going for his chosen side. Picked up from off stump, bang. Such strength. This will tell us. Look at the line.
He's one of the most entertaining cricketers also because he's got brute force, but it never looks like brute force when he makes contact with the ball. Did he read the slower delivery? No. Oh, it's going to be for 1 bounce and for Sanchit Sandhu's first 3 balls have disappeared for 10 now.
Rakeem Cornwall show at the moment, 34 of 14 deliveries. 2 6s and 5 4s. This is number 5. He hit it a long way in the air. At one stage, I thought it was going to go for 6. Just inside that rope, that's all. Got a bit of a surprise, the fielder, but I don't think he had any chance whatsoever to stop that. He did stop at one stage. Right at the bottom of the bat. Still didn't matter too much. Good blow. Terrific stuff. Saad Ali right now has got a very easy job. Non-strikers end, just watch this action and play a natural game when you get on strike. You don't have to do too much. You don't have to do any enforcing whatsoever.
Wanting to have another shy on the leg side. Misses it completely. Rakeem Cornwall. Sanchit Sandhu's now decided to bowl outside the line of the stumps.
His first over went for just 4 runs. His first 3 balls went for 10. So that's a challenge. Good work from Cornwall, making sure that he changed the line.
Again, Rakeem's one of those batters who makes you feel that the first power play is very, very unfair. In this innings, it's not necessarily that he needs the middle of the bat.
That was nicely bowled. Slower delivery. Unlucky on that occasion. Bottom edge. Went back on a square on that leg side for a boundary, but the slower ball, the change of pace, the drop down was the way to go. 50 runs up with that shot from Cornwall, but a very slow delivery. Nothing wrong with it.
The good balls are disappearing for 4. The bad ones are anyway being put away. Sanchit Sandhu's running out of options here, giving away 4 in his first over. This time 6 for 4. Rakeem's taken a single. You need to know it might be the last ball. 5 gone, 51 for 1.
Let's look at the match summary, match number 13. The Cowboys 148 for 8. Real collapse in the middle. They were sitting pretty at one stage at around about 14 overs, 100 on the board, then lost 3 wickets for no runs. It's put on the back foot. Bit of a recovery, and at the moment Phillies are playing superbly. Run rate at 6.53 required from here, and currently going at 10.2. That's how well they're playing, or should I say, how well Rakeem is playing.
A big test for Jaladua, the captain. Ahmad Azam will continue. Will he continue to pick up wickets too? A single after a long thought. In this game, will accommodate this as a word called a single run, but he's not run, he's jogged to the other end. Oh, Rakeem Cornwall, the carnage that the Cowboys are dealing with. They're running out of ideas right now. It's not hitting from the middle of the bat, mind you. It's not been an innings of total control, but it's still 40 of 18 because the ball has disappeared. Edge, shoulder, blade, everything is the middle of the bat today.
And with the outfield a bit on the slow side, the ball's just plugging as it's hitting as well, not running very far after that. I'm hearing hopeful cries of catch from the Cowboys.
Ahmad Azam still swinging the ball a fair bit. Hensad wants to tackle him by reaching the pitch of the ball and not allowing it to swing at all.
Started this over, umpire Robert Foster told them that they're behind by 1 over at the moment. So that's good communication from him. I mentioned Patanayak earlier was letting him know. So good communication with the umpires about the tempo of this game.
Very well played. Rakeem still jogging. I wonder why the throw did not come in.
Second nature for Saad Ali to take that single. So Rakeem, he's got to be aware of that. Got to make sure that when the ball does go some distance away, you've just got to take that single.
We were discussing in between overs, someone who hits 6s and 4s at will can also make single look like an event.
Right, danger time now for the Cowboys.
Knew that it was going to be a slower delivery. The 6s are getting bigger now. Rakeem's just 1 shot away from what would be a terrific 50.
That is a brilliant shot. Straight as a die, 3rd 6. Really nicely played. Perfect connection. Lovely bat plane. Outstanding result.
Just the extension of arms and tells you the importance of the previous single too. Now Rakeem Cornwall. 1 boundary. Now 4 singles, yeah? It's 4 singles, 6 boundaries, and then the disrespect to the boundary ropes as well. If it hits the middle of the bat, then it's going to go a long way.
That last 6 that we saw a replay there where he just showed his balance, and that's the important thing about Rakeem Cornwall. His balance is on the front foot. He just lunged forward. That's all he did really, and just smacked it straight down the ground for a maximum with outstanding control. There wasn't any brute force. It was all about timing.
His brother required rate of 6.3 in the power play. Very wide, long off. Could have been a story of overrunning, but somehow, just somehow, is able to keep it in play. Milan Kumar will jog for a single, will retain strike, will Rakeem. 6 gone. The power play 1 ends 60 for 1.
So 60 for 1 after 6, and right now this game is really only moving in one direction. And that is the way the Phillies United, well, it's all been about one man, hasn't it? Rakeem the Dream Cornwall. He is brilliant to watch in whatever it is he's doing on a cricket field, bat ball and in the field. You talk about the impact that you can have in a T20. This man is impacting it. Wickets with the ball, now runs with the bat. If he's still there in 5 or 6 overs time, this game will be over. It's a change of bowling. Gareth Grover is going to come into the attack. Andrew Leonard here with you. Delighted to have Roshni come up and join me for second time in 2 days. Roshni, have you recovered from last night? How much fun was that?
That was just incredible. I don't think anyone expected that game to, last as long as it did. Go down to a super over, especially the way, the Carolina Eagles were in that position. But incredible.
Yeah, so much fun, wasn't it, as well? Which is what T20 cricket is all about. It's a great product to get new people engaged in our sport. This man at the crease is someone who will inspire everyone around, and we saw the incredible story of the CPL this year with that comeback 100, the bat drop. And where's this one gone? He's only got one hand on the bat. Such is his power, though. It goes all the way. It's 50, and for me, the standout 50 of the US Premier League 2023 thus far. 23 deliveries it's come off. 6 4s and 4 6s, including that one-hander. Is there anything Rakeem Cornwall can't do?
Absolutely. Today, it's honestly Rakeem Cornwall against the New York Cowboys. New York Cowboys are left scrambling to try to figure out how do they get this wicket.
Now cut away. You think of Rakeem Cornwall's batting, you think of power, but there's no shortage of skill and placement and style too. He's just hammered him for 6 over the leg side. He now follows up. Naturally, Grover goes shorter, and Rakeem cuts him away for 4 more.
And that's just gone away. I mean, Rakeem Cornwall, it's a Rakeem Cornwall show at this point.
Nightmare to bowl to. He's such an imposing figure. His height, his power, his strength. And right now, he could be ending this game in a hurry. The required run rate's less than a run a ball. You can see there's 78 to win off 80. He's a joy to watch.
I think Jaladua, he's struggling to figure out what bowler to bowl to try to get that breakthrough. That would be the huge wicket to try to bring the game a little bit back to New York Cowboys. But at the moment, the way the Phillies United are going, it's going to be very difficult.
He must be such a delight to bat with, because all you need to do is get a single, give him the strike. Easiest job in the world.
With less than a run a ball and only 1 wicket down, the Phillies United definitely look strong. It's going to be very difficult for the New York Cowboys to try to get a hand in this.
Monstrous. 6 from the moment it left the bat. It's 18 from the over. It's all about Cornwall. Sensational. 78 for 1.
Off that last over. Looking very, very challenging for the New York Cowboys to get back at this. They're definitely going to need to get some wickets, and some wickets quick, especially Rakeem Cornwall. He needs to go back.
We've spoken a lot about the potential of various American players putting their name up in lights to make a sort of a surge towards that T20 World Cup squad selection next year. That'll be June here, not just in the USA, but also down in the Caribbean. 7 venues in the Caribbean, 3 here in the USA, including this one, as Milan Kumar is going to come in to have a ball from the far end. Rakeem Cornwall's played 10 times for the West Indies, but they've all come in Test cricket, and they've predominantly been as an off-spin bowler, where he's had some good success, including a couple of 5-wicket hauls. I just wonder, particularly given his exploits in the CPL this year, what could be a really good USPL campaign if the first two games are anything to go by. Could we see Rakeem the Dream in the Maroon of the Caribbean in that World Cup next year?
I think that would be something definitely, that could be seen. The way he's been playing, and Rakeem Cornwall's been playing around the States as well. He's not new to the American cricket, so he's been playing all over the country in various franchises, and he's been doing what we're watching right now.
I think it's been that move up to opening the batting in the shortest format. Nikhil Udamchandani's down pitch side at the moment. He'll tell us better. But that move up to opening in this format has been a bit of a revelation for Cornwall. You add in his handy off-spin bowling, all of a sudden you've got a real package that could not just maybe get into that West Indian team, but have a massive impact in it. I know that they've got a white ball series coming up against England, don't they? I wonder, will he be one that they will think of? We'd all love to see it, wouldn't we, Roshni?
Absolutely. I mean, talking about a package, taking the 3 wickets today, he took 3 wickets in the last game as well, but the way he's been able to take the wickets, add the runs, absolutely a complete package.
We talk about entertainment and the importance of that in T20 cricket. He's wonderfully entertaining, but he is so skillful too.
And we can see the way the Phillies United right now, they're just giving that single. Saad Ali's just giving the single, giving Rakeem Cornwall strike. They want to go home early.
I know where Rakeem Cornwall will be going. He'll be going up to the top row of the stand to watch the 2 other games after. Maybe with a win in his pocket. He's got 66. It's 82 for 1 after 8. $67 to win off a nominal 72 deliveries. I don't think that they will need all of that if Rakeem Cornwall is still there. Can we see, with the change of bowler, a breakthrough? Kulvinder Singh is coming in for the Cowboys. We don't think we're going to. Oh, we are. Just not enough. It was a low full toss. It was there to be hit, and Cornwall is going to feel as though he's missed out on one there. It wasn't out of the middle, I knew that, but I thought he just had the power to get there. Instead, Kulvinder Singh strikes, and it's the big wicket of Rakeem Cornwall.
This was a much needed wicket for the New York Cowboys. Jaladua is definitely going to be happy with the performance, and just look at that. Great catch. Great catch by Obis Pinar. We know he's always handy on the field, and definitely, so he's gone. Rakeem Cornwall's gone for 66 off of just 29. Phillies United are 82 for 2.
Arakshit Gumel to the crease at number 4. Well, this game might have just taken a turn. No doubt Phillies United are still well on top, but because of the dismissal of Cornwall, 66 off 29. Look at that strike rate. It was so nearly another maximum. Excellent catch this from Obis Pinar.
An excellent catch. I think especially Obis is, because of his height, he was able to jump up and get that catch and hold on to it. Arkarshid Gomel comes into bat.
Big impact from Kulvinder. Left arm seamer. He's very effective, plays an awful lot on the domestic circuits here in the United States. Okay, let's get down pitch side to Nikhil Udamchandani. Who have you got down there, Nikhil?
I've got co-owner of the Phillies United team, Mr. Siddharth Dutt. Siddharth, thanks a lot for your time. Your first experience owning a team in the USPL, just describe it for us. What's it been like?
Sure, it's been great. I mean, look at the beautiful day here that we are playing cricket. It is our first year, like you said, but we have a great team here. We're enjoying. We played our first game on Monday, and now look at this. What a great start Rakeem has given us, and hopefully we can win it from here.
Yeah, just in the construction of the team itself, what were some of the qualities, the values you were looking for in the players you selected?
Sure, it is important, right, to have a well-balanced team, right? You cannot go out with 10 openers. So what we were looking at for someone like Rakeem who could give the team a great start, and then you have supporting, members of the team. And now we have a great pair back on the field as well. And these two guys did really well on Monday as well.
Just give us some insight into what went on in terms of getting Rakeem Cornwall. I know his services were wanted by other teams. How did you go about that?
Yeah, so Rakeem has been playing with our franchise in New Jersey for quite a lot. We play professional cricket under NJ Black Caps, and he's done a great job for us. He's won tournaments for us, so it was a no-brainer. I mean, he's our first pick.
All right, thank you very much, Siddharth, for your time. All the best today.
Oh yeah, thanks again.
Lovely to hear some thoughts and a bit of a dugout shot as well. One of our team owners, great to have them with us. That is a very good over, just the 5 runs and the massive wicket of Cornwall in its 9 have been bowled. It's 87 for 2. .61 more required, and the reason the Phillies United have such a good position is thanks to this man. How much did you enjoy this innings from Rakeem Cornwall, Roshni?
I mean, what an incredible innings. We know the way Rakeem goes off. I mean, just look at it. 7 4s, 5 6s, an incredible stroke play. Just all around, challenging the New York Cowboys bowlers. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, for those who don't know Rakeem Cornwall's story, real battles with injury over the years. It's from the island of Antigua in the Caribbean. It's the home, of course, of the great Viv Richards. The Ambrose, Andy Roberts. Knights of plenty. This one's going to run away for 4. I'm not quite sure as to how it's got there. They have to feel better, and that was a pretty tardy effort there from Sandhu down at short third.
Milind Kumar was absolutely not happy with that. Could have stopped it. Unfortunately, goes down for a boundary, and you could see Milind Kumar.
Catch it!
New York Cowboys are looking for some wickets. You can see Rakeem Cornwall back in the dugout. Played a brilliant part so far in today's match for the Phillies United.
All of those great Antiguan cricketers you're talking about there. Sir Richie Richardson, now an ICC match referee, to 93,000 is the population of that island. Imagine an island that size producing so many sporting greats. Add the likes of Ridley Jacobs, Alzari Joseph to that list. But Rakeem the Dream, he's the one for me. We love him ever so much, and he's just brilliant to watch. He's lighting up this USPL.
He's absolutely entertaining. He even scored in a T20 match a double century in Atlanta last year.
Saw the highlights of that one. That was ridiculous. Almost everything he does lights up the internet. He knows how to send things viral. There's our man Rakeem. There he is. He's been the star of the show thus far. And as we get to the halfway stage, it's going to be time for a drink for all the players. The score, it's 94 for 2.
Players have just finished a drink. 10 overs gone, 94 for 2 at the moment. Need 55 from 60 come from here. Rakeem Cornwall has been the star so far. Have a look at this work from him. He's so strong. His timing is exquisite as well. That's an important thing about him. 66 off 29 deliveries, 7 fours and 5 sixes. When he launches, that ball just travels a long way. Really imposing to bowl to, really hard to bowl to as well, because whatever length you do bowl, he's going to have a dip. And if he's in good form, he's going to slam you all over the place. Aaron Singh's alongside me. You've seen a lot of him over the years. He's a tough character.
Yeah, Rakeem is one man that you want to dismiss very early, Mikey. He's someone that if he gets going in the first 5 overs, he's going to really make the bowling pay. He's going to take the game away from you at any point in time.
And that's exactly what he's done with his worms. Phillies United worm, the black one, that's well ahead of the Cowboys from ball 1.
And Mikey, we've not only seen it with his batting, but also with his bowling, a very economical bowler, and took many key wickets, broke the main partnerships for the New York Cowboys.
I mentioned in the first game he had 3 for 10 at one stage. Today he had 3 for 6, so he's just been superb.
He may not be the impact player, but does have high impact on this team, Mikey.
And I think his captaincy also has been seriously good. He's one of those guys who doesn't get flustered at all in the field. He just waves his hands around and waves his arm. All the guys watch him quite closely. I love it when he was bowling. That Karen ball was outstanding, and then he broke into a bit of a smile after that wicket.
Yeah, you need all smiles. All smiles there. Kwame Patan Jr. and Rakeem Cornwall there on your screen. It's all smiles. When it's all smiles, everyone enjoys their cricket, and that's the type of leader you need in your dressing room, Mikey.
That's what the United Premier League is all about. Having fun, having excitement, most of all, just walking away like your team did yesterday, enjoying it.
Well, hopefully we can get a more convincing one today, Mike.
Yeah. Bottom edge, not too far away from that off stump. Let's have a look at this carom ball again. It's a wonderful delivery if you can bowl it properly. Again, it's flicked out of the front of the hand. The thumb works, forefinger as well. And the bottom story about it is there's extra bounce, and it also goes away from the right-handed batsman.
Yeah, it's really a wicket-taking ball from Rakeem.
Nice connection into vacant area. That's another boundary.
Inside out. He's picked a beautiful gap, and Jimbo's loving it. All smiles, all claps from him. He's just picked the right area to go up and over on that occasion.
I have no doubt that at the drinks break they would have talked about making sure they get this pretty quickly so that net run rate escalates. Net run rates are going to be so important. They'll go top if they win this today, and it looks like that's going to happen. Unless something miraculous goes on for the Cowboys. But net run rate will be improved as well, I think.
In these types of short tournaments, it's very important, Mike, you to have a good net run rate. In a T20 format, it's small tournaments that only last for around a week and a half. You really need to make sure that worst case worst, you win your games, but your net run rate doesn't negatively be impacted.
It's quite amazing how many times teams don't think about that at the start of tournaments. And when I mention that, I'm talking about international sides as well. Often international sides don't think about it. So you've got to start, whatever side you're playing in a proper tournament like this one, you've got to make sure that you're thinking about that net run rate initially. It's going to be a feature. It's tidy. 11 gone, 102 for 2. Here's the table at the moment. Now look at the points. 2 5s, 1 and 2. The wins are the same as well, and they're separated by the net run rate. The Mavericks' net run rate is better than the Carolina Eagles. Also go to 4 and 5, Patriots and Titans. Net run rate separates them also. Wins are the same. Just confirming how important that net run rate's going to be. Now, if the Phillies get up today and get up quickly, then that net run rate is going to increase. They're going to go to the top of that table, but the net run rate is going to be better. So that's going to be a good story for them.
It really does hurt in these short tournaments to be losing consecutive games. It's hard luck for the Texas Cowboys. Their first game before this was a 5-over competition. So to lose that really messes up your net run rate.
Chipped away on the onside comfortably. Keep ticking over that scoreboard. Pick up the boundaries when you can. That's what they've got to try and do. 46 required now. 45 it is.
Yeah, Cowboys really need to look to take a wicket here. Possibly bring in a strike bowler. Kulvinder Singh is usually their strike bowler. We saw this even last year in phase 1 of the USPL, but he's been quite expensive. Same with Sachin Sandhu. Both opening pairs haven't really gone to task, haven't gone to work in this matchup.
Looking to launch that one, but can't get it all the way. Again, it's just a single, just chipping away with those.
Yeah, it's good bowling from Milind Kumar. He's been a very good bowler for this Cowboys side. Was not in the USPL last year, I believe, but has been showing high impact in this side.
Cries of catch it. I think he's hit it too well though. Yep, that's gone for 6. That's a fine shot indeed. That's what they need to deal with, those big boundaries.
It had been a good over for Milind Kumar before he pitched that up. A little too much. It came flat, not much air, but it was in the slot. And a good looking stroke. to the hard-hitting left-handed Saad Ali.
Yeah, that's put a dent in things too. 37 now required. Suddenly there's 10 off this over with still one ball to go. Cowboys need to just lift a bit. They need to pick up wickets. That's the only way they're going to stay in this game.
Yeah, it's quite hard. They don't know who their strike bowler is at the moment. And the ball isn't looking too good, Mikey.
Yeah, it needs a shave, I think. Straight away they'll get the box of balls that comes out. I'll try and get something that's around about the same, that's a bit smoother though. All those balls in that bag will be marked with a certain number of overs being bowled. They'll try and get something the same wear and tear. They've got probably about a dozen, I guess. That's generally what it ends up being to choose from. Another look at those worms tells a big story. The Cowboys worm is quite interesting. They got off to a terrific start. Then they dipped off dramatically, but they picked up at the end and got themselves close to that 150 mark. But unfortunately for the Cowboys, it wasn't quite enough. At one stage, they were certainly looking at a lot more than that.
Yeah, they were looking good. They were having some partnerships that helped, but then they were losing wickets on top of that. Not really a big partnership going on. Consistent partnerships, but not those types of partnerships that would give you consistent runs.
You see all those knots in that blue worm as well at over number 14. That's where they lost 4 wickets for the addition of just 6 runs. That really put them on the back foot. The worm went almost horizontal at one stage. The black worm saying, I'm out of here. I want to go straight up as quickly as I possibly can, with no knots in my stomach either.
Yeah, they are in some trouble here, the Cowboys. Already have used their impact player. So have got to use the bowlers on the field. They have to step up. One person has to put their hand up to take a crucial wicket.
Sweeper into play. 12 overs gone. 113 for 2. At the 14 over mark, the New York Cowboys should have been getting 160, maybe even 170 if they played really well from that moment, because they were beautifully placed with only 3 down, with 100 on the board with 6 overs to go. But that wasn't the case. A little bit of recovery, and United, Raheem Cornwall has been magnificent with that 66 of 29 ballers, put them right on the track to win this game. 36 required from here for 48 deliveries, but they're going to want to get them as quickly as they possibly can to help that net run rate.
Was quite surprised that the captain didn't throw the ball to Obis Pienaar any earlier, Mikey. He's a player of high class, good experience.
Yeah, and I agree with that, because he's someone who, he's not a big spinner of the ball, never has been. He curves the ball more than anything. So a right-handed batsman, this will just dart in late to him. That's how he normally plays. When he opens the bowling, he gets even more swing.
Well, he reminds me a lot of Harmeet Singh, someone that doesn't give much air, but darts the ball in and doesn't give batsmen too much time to think about what type of stroke that they want to play.
Also tall, good high release.
Makes it much harder, especially for the right-hander who has just come into bat. Makes it very, very hard for him to get some runs.
I think he can be better used, actually. I've seen him play in a few tournaments where he's done a terrific job at first change. He's got to be a bit shiny to assist him a bit also with that drift in. That's when he's at his best rather than relying on a bit of turn.
Yeah, Obis Pienaar again, someone that has played a high level of cricket, someone that is a senior member of this New York Cowboys side. Needs to produce something here in high time. Just going a little across the line there. An inside edge or a miss might have had him in some trouble there. We've seen that a lot. We've seen that a lot. Even in the last games. Going across the line. Especially if the ball's going to the stump. So get some runs over here. A little tickle to pick up 2. And yeah, our next matchup, the California Golden Eagles and the Maryland Mavericks. You can see the Golden Eagles already here preparing. They need to win today's matchup as well. Lost their first encounter. And yeah, look at that. All smiles through Poor. The young under 21 for that side.
The Mavericks got up yesterday. I was fascinated with the fact that Rakeem Cornwall was down here last night when it was quite chilly. Sitting at the back of the stand, lurking in the shadows, watching the goings on. Obviously worked for him. Slowed down a little bit here. Pienaar's done a nice job. Halt that run rate. 13 gone, 118 for 2.
Every day is a good day, but today is a great day in Fort Lauderdale because we have 3 games today for the first time of this 2023 USPL. Our first game going on right now, and after that, Maryland Mavericks and California Golden Eagles next to come. Maryland Mavericks won yesterday. California Golden Eagles 0-1, need to win today. Milind Kumar comes in for his final over. And these next 2 overs, Mike, here have to be very important. Obis Pienaar and Milind Kumar, 2 senior players, need to step up.
They sure do. That's been their problem. They just haven't picked up wickets. They picked up 1 wicket with a score of 34. Another them a score of 82 on the board. But since then, it's been very barren. Bowling has not been consistent at all. Nor threatening. I think they were a little bit rattled by the way that Rakeem Cornwall played right at the start.
Yeah, I think the use of an impact player now might have been a bit more useful. Oh, and that's a good-looking stroke. Too short, and he's pummeled that one across for a maximum.
Yeah, nicely spotted. Straight away, realised that length was ideal for him. Just to rock onto that back foot and go towards that boundary. Right out of the middle, that one. Wasn't looking for a 4, he wanted the maximum.
He didn't even have to move. He didn't even have to move on that occasion. And a beautiful stroke. Just teases the boundary rope.
24 to win. When it gets under 20, that's when they'll really step on things and try and get those runs as quickly as possible. There's still a lot of balls to go. Haven't even finished the 14th over at this stage. They are some 25 runs ahead of where the Cowboys were at the same stage. This is when they collapsed, the Cowboys.
Yeah, a bit of bat, and it beats the fielder. A late sweep, and we'll get 4 runs from that. A loosener from Milind Kumar.
Yeah, no consistency from the bowling. That's been a real issue. Haven't applied pressure consistently, the bowlers. Every now and then there's been a delivery they can put away, whether it's short or leg side.
Yeah, Milind Kumar was looking good before this over. But a little bit of pressure, 2 boundaries in 5 balls, and it's game on. It really is game on. The Philadelphians are looking good.
$11 off that over. 14 gone, 129 for 2.
And we were just talking about the California Golden Eagles, but now we see the strong Maryland Mavericks, Shubham Ranjane, Supreet Maran, Vineet Sinha, Jesse Singh, the captain, Dwayne Smith, the experience of him. And this is going to be a very exciting matchup. Both sides looking for something to prove. PNR comes back into the attack, needs a good over here.
Oh, he's gone underneath that one. Has he hit it far enough? Sure has. That's a wonderful way to start the over. Fine shot.
We were just praising him. We were just praising him of how he skids the ball, doesn't give much time to the batsman. But I think that's a commentator's curse, because he's pitched that up. And a beautiful slog sweep by Saad Ali. Someone of his caliber is not going to let that go away. He has been so good this entire tournament, Saad Ali.
I reckon they're going to want to finish this by 16 overs. 14 runs to get. 5 balls left in this over. Can they do it in this, maybe? Hard down the ground for just the single.
Qualification becomes much more harder now for the New York Cowboys. Only 2 more games remaining for them. They'll have to win out, and they'll have to win out drastically now. High time, short T20 games. You need to win drastically. That net run rate is very important, as well as them points. Losing 2 games really gets you in crunch situations.
A little bit flatter, a little bit quicker. No problem at all, though. Picked up. The track is playing nicely. Ground staff, we've given them lots of compliments. The fact that they've used this surface all the time so far, I think, has been absolutely outstanding work. It really is. They sprinkled it a bit last night just to make sure it had a bit of life into it. It was a little bit thirsty after play yesterday. Bring it back to life with a drop or 2.
Only 11 required now for the men from Philadelphia. Up against their counterparts in the East Coast. And again, he's hit it a bit short, but only enough room to punch it away. Could find the gap. Kulvinder Singh, good footwork there. Might be taking some training sessions from PSG here.
Yeah, a bit of fancy footwork. Saved the boundary. 2 more. We're just going to do a quick boundary check, I think. But that's absolutely fine. No problems at all with that.
Yeah, good piece of fielding from Kulvinder Singh. I don't think that's touched. Nah, that's clean. Oh, that's clean piece of footwork. Well, we know Kulvinder Singh can have a profession in 2 sports now, cricket and football.
It's absolutely fine. No need to check that. Last ball in the over. And a single to round it off. Might come back for the second, actually. Yeah, they're going to touch and turn. So it's another good over. 13 from that. 142 for 2.
Saad Ali. What a performance this has been from him and his team. Clinical with ball, and now exactly the requisite intensity with this run chase. Mike Hazeman just having a way now.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. Controlled things superbly. Rakeem did terrific work with the willow right up, but after that the guys have been sensible with their batting. Picked up some sixes, some maximums along the way, but it's been good controlled cricket. Nicely done so far from the Phillies, and they look like they're going to get those 2 points to go top. 15 overs gone, 142 for 2. Just 7 required now.
I tell you what has impressed me about Saad Ali in this tournament, obviously with all of his experience playing in the PSL back in Pakistan, but the way that in these 2 innings he's played, the grave contrast in his style of play. That first game struck at close to 200, got them a 50, won them the game. Now today, entering when Raheem Cornwall was going and realizing that they're well ahead of the rate. No risk required. It's just been a measured approach, but very effective. And will be one of the few teams to go unbeaten in this tournament. And you think with the 6 games, you're pretty much 1 foot into those semi-finals. Top 4 qualify.
Look at that blue sky. Didn't see that for the first 4 days. Didn't see any sky at all, really. The rain all the time. Just teeming down, particularly a couple of days ago. Quick look at that log again, just to let you know that the Phillies, with their 2 points, will catapult to 6 points, so that'll take them to the top of the table. But the Mavericks are playing the next game. They're top at the moment and will slide down, of course, but if they get up, they'll go to 7, so they'll then go above the Phillies United team if they happen to get up against the California Golden Eagles. 4 required. Oh, it's a wicket. Sandy's picked up a wicket. Too late, I'm afraid. That's what they needed a lot earlier. They just couldn't pick up any wickets, couldn't break partnerships. That's why the Phillies were controlling this game so well.
Yeah, it breaks the partnership, but just a mere consolation prize at this stage. But again, you can see though, using conditions seems to be effective for the seamers. Saw it with Stephen Wigg earlier into the pitch, and Sandhu gaining success will help his confidence going forward in the tournament. First wicket for him today. Gomel gone for 30, 145 for 3. Adil Bhatti comes to the middle, got a good score in that last game, finished unbeaten on his side the game, the Phillies United. And that will be the winning runs. A very clinical and comprehensive win for the Phillies United, led by captain Raheem Cornwall. And one of the few teams to remain unbeaten in this year's tournament. They're well on their way to qualifying for those semi-finals.
And winning with 25 balls to spare. That's going to help their net run rate considerably. What a fine performance. That's going to be a nice little boost for them. Raheem Cornwall, of course, doing a fine job with the ball and also the bat. But this is a comprehensive victory. And the skipper, I'm sure, will have a bit of a smile on his face. Looking nice and relaxed there in the dugout. His teammates coming and congratulating him as a captain, and also his performances, both of the ball and the bat. So good work from the big fella, but winning this with 25 balls to spare and also winning with 7 wickets in hand. That's a top effort. Really good work from the Phillies United. They'll be pleased with that. On the other side, the flip side of things, the New York Cowboys are going to be pretty disappointed, and they've got a hard road from here. Cannot lose the games that they've been losing and still be in contention. They've got to make sure they pick themselves up and show some pride for the rest of this tournament, see what happens. Going to have to rely on a couple of results, I'm sure, but these guys are sitting pretty right now and top of the table.
And Coach Wilden Cornwall, right of screen, will be very pleased with the way his team went about things with ball in hand, especially taking 4 wickets in that middle phase, executing well in terms of the use of conditions, the use of the dimensions. And it definitely helps when you have someone like Raheem Cornwall at the top of the order. And more often than not, when he gets a 50+ score, you tend to win the game. But it hasn't been only him. They've had all-round performances. Saad Ali's been good in these first couple of matches. Adil Bhatti as well. So they'll hope that that can carry forward into those semi-finals. Pretty much just one win away from guaranteeing that. And Cornwall will be very confident. The winning moment then.
Yeah, they were looking for a boundary, I'm sure. Didn't matter where it came. That one just a bit of the outside edge down to that vacant third man region. That is the winning moment, and that started the celebrations for Phillies United. They'll be really pleased with that. Comprehensive victory, that's for sure.
Cornwall set the tone. 66 from just 29 deliveries. Saad Ali came in initially and supported him, and then managed the situation very well to finish unbeaten, see it home for his team inside of 16 overs as well. That could be critical in terms of that net run rate column.
Just to add further to Rakeem's work and also that opening partnership and the second partnership as well, it was 7 4s and 5 6s when Rakeem was at the crease. So it's quite an easy job for Ricky and also Saad Ali to do at the other end, but they had to contribute, and the partnerships are 34 and 48, and then Saad and Arakashit, there's 63 of 45 deliveries, so that was good work. As we look at the bowling as well, you can see that they had to use quite a few. 8 bowlers were used in total. 8 bowlers. 7 bowlers were used in total, and Obus Pinar, I'm afraid, was underused. He should have been used a lot earlier. That would have helped their cause, I think, because he's someone who is very effective when the ball is a bit new and just curves the ball in, swerves it in, particularly to the right-hand batsman, but not enough in the wickets column.
Well, it was a good start to the innings when Cornwall and Dominic Ricky walked out. Took a bit of time, Rakeem Cornwall, to find the middle consistently, but he's just so adept at finding the boundary with regularity. And when you only have 148 runs on the board, you need him out early. He didn't get that today. He got a 50. Ricky did a few supreme strokes and then tried to go over middle and couldn't successfully. And then it was the Cornwall and Ali show. Good situational awareness from that pair.
I like the way that Rakeem Cornwall just timed the ball so sweetly. He doesn't use brute strength. It's all about timing, using his body weight, leaning forward or rocking back, getting underneath the ball. Seems a simple shot for him. Pick up anything. If it's a full toss, he can get underneath that most of the time. Obus Pinar took a good catch to get rid of him. But then it was a bit of a bridge too far because the rest of the guys could capitalise as well. And also try and hit some big boundaries. They did from time to time, but no wickets for the Cowboys. That's where they let themselves down. They weren't consistent enough, they weren't applying enough pressure against the Phillies United team, and that was the winning boundary.
Saad Ali, the left-hander, finishing unbeaten. Second time now in 2 games he's done that. The Cowboys only getting to 148. They lost their way, 3 wickets for 0 runs. In that middle phase, Jacobus Pinar was the important one. And then in reply, Rakeem Cornwall, the captain, leading the way. United winning by 7 wickets inside of the 16 overs. Look at the table then. You can see Phillies United have propelled themselves to the top of the table, unbeaten, joining the Mavericks and Carolina Eagles. But those 2 wins, the difference between them and the other teams, that could be very important with 2 games to play going into the semi-finals. Remember, the top 4 teams qualify. The Cowboys have got some work to do in their final 2 to be in the reckoning.
Dominant performances are always worth looking at again. Just sit back and enjoy this. Really good work from Rakeem Cornwall. This is where he has led from the front today. Did a good job with the ball, but was determined to get his team off to a very good start, and he did that superbly.
Well, 2 games to come your way, so don't move a muscle. The Mavericks taking on the Golden Eagles in a couple minutes time. Then later tonight, the Eagles against the Titans. Carolina Eagles, that is. Well, time now to hear from Roshni, who's got the post-match presentation.
Welcome to the USPL post-match presentation between the Phillies United and the New York Cowboys. Well, the Phillies United dominated here with a victory of 7 wickets. Joined with me, I have Sachi Bawa, the co-owner of the California Golden Eagles, who will be presenting the Man of the Match award to none other than Rakeem Cornwall. First 3 wickets, 66 off of 29 balls. Rakeem, how do you assess your performance in today's game with the destruction you showed out there?
It was a good game for us. Just come in and do what I have to do for the team.
Now, in the first innings, walk me through that Stephen Wiggs over in the 14th over. Would you reckon that was a game-changing over?
Yeah, I think Stephen bowled really well today, even from me, give us 3 overs in the power play. That is a winner for us, and then come back and get 2 wickets in that over.
And especially the bowling changes you had, Stephen Wigg coming in, and the way you played with the bowlers really helped. You know, it wasn't able for New York Cowboys to really get that momentum going.
Yeah, I just try to mix and match the overs. Don't really want no batsman to settle on one bowler, so I just try and switch it up as much as I can.
Now, a good day in the office for the team, a good day for you as a captain, and with your performance, 2 wins out of 2 so far. What do you think the team spirit's going to be like, and what do you think is a positive takeaway from today's game?
I think the spirit is good. We don't need to get complacent now. We have 2 more games to go. We just have to keep the energy up and come again tomorrow.
Well, are we going to see you now enjoying in the stands and watching the next game?
Yeah, we'll watch a bit and then go back and rest for tomorrow again.
Well, congratulations again, and all the best for the next game tomorrow.
Always good to see the man from Liberta and Antigua in action. But don't move a muscle then at home, because the Maryland Mavericks, undefeated, a really comprehensive win yesterday, take on the Golden Eagles. It's coming your way up next.